Alrighty, that looks good. Although, why is it only picking up your forehead? Oh, because your camera's all low.
No!
Yeah, you gotta fix your camera again.
Gotta pull it down so that I can
There you
see
go.
my
Wonderful.
darling face.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Alright, so we got that all fixed up, and it would appear that we are also live, so I can pause that. So that's a good sign. And I'm currently trying to load into Hex because I just got home and I wasn't loaded into it yet, I just realized. So that hopefully that'll load. It's loading kind of slow right now for whatever reason, but I'm sure we'll get there pretty soon. In the meantime, I'm going to take a sip of my lemonade.
All right, are we ready to kick this off?
I don't know. I would say so.
All right. I've got something before to kick us off. You ready for it?
Okay.
In the spirit of what we started off with last week, we're going with this today. From the bowels of the necropolis, strategizing with Lixil and keeping Zared Venom scoring away from the punch bowl, Function and Mokog are proud to bring you the General's Tent.
I liked it. That was good. Sorry, I was typing something real quick. Folks who are already tuned in will have to bear with us because due to snow, I was slowed down a little bit, so we were kind of rushing to get everything off as quickly as I can. And I'm sending you a message in Skype chat real quick, Mokog, and let me type it and then we can get going. No.
Do. I'm glad someone lolled at everything.
Alrighty. So yeah, there's the Skype one, and I meant to mention that to you earlier in the week, but Neo explained something to me that made a lot of sense. So, yeah. Oh, and speaking of Neo, there he is, my favorite show on a Wednesday night. Yeah, it's my favorite show on a Wednesday night too. Oh,
you know what?
Under
Neo's
construction
my
with
favorite
Mythic
show.
Fishmom. I knew I forgot something in that rush to get home. Alright, let's fix that right now. General's Tent. With Mokog. Oh, I can spell your name correctly. Mokog. And
It's
Function.
not super hard.
And Clarissa. Okay.
Yay! The cat is what makes it special.
Yeah, okay. So there we go. That should be fixed. Let me reload the page and make sure that updated. Oh, and Havoc already beat me to it, and then I think I refixed it after Havoc did. Perhaps, but either way. Yeah, there we go. I didn't even realize he had two. But thank you, Havoc. So that seems fixed. And somehow I got logged out of Twitch. So let me try typing real quick. We're doing all kinds of nonsense after rushing home tonight. Test? Is this gonna work? No, I need to log into Twitch. Function fails. That's me. And password. Can I remember my password? Yeah, I think that's it. Hooray, I remember my password.
Yay!
I'm logged into Twitch now. Alright, so I can close that. And I'm logged into Hex. Everything's going well. It looks like... cool. There we go. So that's fixed. And we got everything on there. Alright, so whatever folks had already said in chat, if they were saying hello or anything, I missed the hellos because chat had to update while I was relogging and everything. But now here we are, and it's a wonderful time. Let me do one more thing, and then we can get on with the show, and it'll be nice, and we can enjoy the rest of the evening. But yeah, it's snowing outside. Went to the museum today, and that was pretty cool.
Awesome. And actually, it snowed in Texas today.
Really?
I saw snow this morning in Texas, and it is now 50 degrees and sunny. Almost all of it's melted away.
See, I don't know anything about the weather in Texas. Like, I don't know if you guys ever get snow or anything, but I would imagine Texas doesn't get snow very often.
It's generally, we do get snow. Sometimes it's once a year at best.
Yeah.
Other times it can be frequent. Like a couple years ago, we ended up actually having inches of snow instead of just like a light little dusting that covered the ground. And of course, everything closed down because that's how Texas do. We see ice on the ground and we either crash into other cars or we shut everything down. It's just kind of how we do things down here.
Sounds about right. Yeah. The bus was running like crazy. There wasn't even a whole lot of snow on the ground. Just I think it was just running behind or something, and the snow exacerbated it. But anyhow, here we are. We are well on our way to bringing everybody another episode of the General's Tent. Everybody who's chimed in or tuned in so far, thank you for doing so. Clarissa, what are you doing? The cat is being weird. But yeah, we are here. So that's kind of our little blurb about how we've been. I guess we might as well run down through the outline real quick before we get started, unless you have anything else to say there, Mokog?
Well, let's see. I went through crazy fun intro.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, I think we're ready for the general outline. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say I was distracted enough, and like we were so rushed in getting the shows like prep today, that I completely forgot about your fun intros that you're doing now. And when you did, I was like, oh yeah, that's exciting. Got me all giddy for it. Hey, Kaneda, how's it going? Doing pretty well myself. But all right, so what do we got? We got the outline coming up. So let's go through that. First off, Mokog and I will just talk about how our weekend went, perhaps with the shoot, what's it called? The VIP, real quick. Maybe we'll see how we did on that. We'll check in, and then we will figure out what our giveaways are. We didn't even have a chance to figure out what we're actually going to give away today, so we'll have to think about that as we are prepping the rest of the show or going through the outline. What is this? The AI with personality link or update was last Friday's update, and we're talking about just AI things going on, and it seems like they've updated the AI a pretty decent amount on the test server as well. It's been getting much better, and I kind of think I see what's going on with the AI a little bit and how it's getting better, and we'll talk about that because I think it's actually really interesting. AI seems like something really hard to program and one of the trickiest things out there. What else is next? We got the community news. We have the HexTCG tournament coming up this weekend. That should be pretty exciting. I'm probably going to be playing that myself, and hopefully I'll be streaming it. And what else we got? I have also some personal news as far as community stuff goes that's kind of fun. We'll talk about that when we get to it. If you haven't seen it already, I got a new forum icon. What do we got?
There you go again, building up suspense and then just dropping a bomb
right
at the beginning.
Yeah, but I mean, people might not have seen it yet. Somebody's saying check that mail. Okay, we'll check the mail in just a second here. We'll do the outline before I get too distracted. I'm all scatterbrained today. It's like herding cats, and we have at least one cat sitting on my lap being obnoxious. So we got. We'll do the chat checkup. We have a fun topic today. Here's one thing I was thinking, Mokog, with the chat checkup, should we just be asking the question early and ahead of time? That way people have time to think about what they might have to say, or should we just continue doing it like we're doing it?
I think we can probably push it just a smidge earlier and be like, hey, we're thinking about this. Okay. And then that way it seeds everything, people can ruminate on it, sure. And then we'll run into the subject, and then after we're done with the subject, we'll run over here to chat, and then we'll banter back and forth, okay. And it'll be a show.
Because I think today's chat checkup, there's potential for a lot of stuff to talk about. I know even I hadn't even looked at what you would put as the chat checkup for today until just now, and I have a lot to say about it because I've been having fun lately. What else we have? We have our card of the week, and we have our weekly topic is going to be talking about our favorite encounter / if we were able to play in the Primal Limited, whether it was either draft or sealed. There were some fun shenanigans going on with that, and we might have a few stories going around there. But with all that said, I think that's the outline for today. Not a ton of topics, but each topic has quite a bit that we have to talk about. In other news, we have something here from Neo. He's saying, you're going to give this away, of course. Yes, of course we are going to be giving away a Primal now, so that's at least one of the giveaways solved. And now that we're done with the outline, we should figure out what we're going to be giving away. So today's giveaway, we at least did figure out what the giveaway entry will be. Let me actually remember what it was real quick. So it was bug wrangling, so maybe I spoiled that a little bit there. But we're going to enter the code. It's not entered yet on my end. So there we go. So that should be fixed. If somebody wants to go ahead and try entering to confirm that it works, we will be able to do that. And so that's today's giveaway entry. For starters, okay, so we'll do Do we want to do 3 giveaways? I think at least for sure we'll be doing shoot, what would it be? It would be the draft code. We'll be doing.
We still have a draft code up, and we're going to be doing our crack a pack.
Our crack a pack. Why don't we do? We'll do 4 giveaways. We'll do two draft codes, the crack a pack and the primal, which Neo has very graciously donated. So we're off to a good start there. And No Rager and SG Chan are both entered into the giveaway. So thank you guys for making sure that works, and thank you for tuning in the show. And hopefully you enjoy it. So all right, so that's the giveaway. Did you write that down by any chance?
What we're giving away?
Yeah.
I have a notepad right here just to keep control of your shenanigans.
Okay, yeah, because I know I would forget, and at some point I'd be like, hey, Mokog, what are we giving away today? And you'd be like, well, I didn't write it down. But you are always good about writing it down. And that's, I'm glad that two heads are better than one. Yeah.
It comes from being an accountant, I'm not going to lie.
But yeah, so that was our outline. We did the giveaway announcement. And we also have our little challenge that we'll be doing today. Hopefully you're working on your deck list, and let me make sure that I have one of my own. This is a deck list that Neo himself might be a little familiar with. We were goofing around the other night, and let me see if I have it somewhere in here. Nope, not that one.
All right, I have a very terrible theme deck that you have asked me to put together.
I think my deck is missing cards. Oh, no, here it is, I think.
Did you sell them? That would do it.
I didn't sell cards. Maybe I just didn't complete that one. All right, so I think this one, yeah, this is at least one of the builds that we were using for it, and it was a lot of fun. So we'll use this one. All right, so we got our decks of the week. We're gonna be playing Fierce Warlord decks, and I have mine already built. Mokog's building his right now. And
I have just finished the craziness here.
Oh, very good.
And I'll be honest, it's not crazy. I've purposely covered up the screen where I can only see chat, so I have no clue what you're running.
Oh.
Only thing I know that's in your deck is a Fierce Warlord.
All right, so...
well, technically 4, because you said, build a deck with 4 Fierce Warlords, and I'm like, so you want me to build a aggro troop orc deck? Sure. And that's what I went with. And as I was building it, I'm like, you could probably have used Fierce Warlord better than that. Screw it, let's go with the tribes.
Hell yeah. All right, so we also had one other piece of community news to add to the outline, and I just added it into mine, so when we get to the community news, you can remind me to put it in. But that's fun. Why don't we fire off our game, and we can just talk about how our weekend is. Did you have a chance to play at all in... where's my deck? In the VIP tournament this past weekend?
I did have a chance to go in the VIP, and I enjoyed this week's VIP. Or
how'd you do?
Week's VIP. I went 4-0.
Really? Wow, way to go.
And I gotta say, part of it was because I had a pretty good pool. So I had almost a straight slam you in the face Tri-Shard Humans pool, and on top of that, I ended up pulling an Angel of Dawn in my pool as well. So that Angel of Dawn won me at least 3 crucial games in getting that 4-0, hands down.
That's awesome.
So it really came from having a good pool, because all of my opponents, if I had not had a really good pool, they would have just destroyed my face.
I mean, the alternate arts themselves obviously won 4 total, and those are worth a pretty penny. But it doesn't hurt to open an Angel of Dawn either, because that one's
I know,
and
what even made it cooler. So I opened an Angel of Dawn. At that point I only needed 2 more cards for my playset of set 1, and I'm like, oh, awesome! I just need 1 more card. I just need the Vampire King I'm never willing to pay for. And then I was in Neo's stream, and one of his followers just like, oh, you need a Vampire King, Mokog? I'm like, yeah, and they just sent me a Vampire King. I'm like, you people are awesome! Yeah,
awesome community is awesome. And this hand,
in the mouth.
not quite so amazing, but I think we gotta work with it, because I think this deck only has like 16 or 17 resources in it. So, and really, I mean, I'm able to play some of the cards. That's all this deck is trying to do, and this is one of the more aggressive cards in the deck. So we'll try to get there. I think it's going to be pretty good against Mokog if he's playing Giles. So we'll see how we do. But yeah, this is oh, there we go. That draw, it seems pretty good.
Oh,
all
man.
Right, so we will continue, and...
Oh, hi. Servant of Shathak.
Yep. But yeah.
At least 20 different card names, huh? Among
So
the
you
resources.
did quite a bit better than I did in the VIP weekend. I had 2 tickets for the VIP, and in the very first one I played, I ended up losing the first 2 matches. The second was pretty close, and then I ended up winning the third and fourth match. So I still got my one of each alternate art, which is pretty nice, and that was
Very
pretty rude
nice.
of you.
I
But
do my best.
I won't hold it against you, though.
Oh,
Um,
you should hold it against me because I can end up being really terrible.
well, so long as you don't have another one. And what's up with these draws? Oh, these draws are hilarious.
Oh, someone be top decking.
Yep, somebody is top decking pretty well here. That's pretty entertaining. But there's Servant if you haven't seen it. And Servant's a fun card. I like it because it requires you to build a little bit differently. And in a deck where you have only 16
Oh,
or 17 resources, it's pretty easy to make it work.
hey, talk about top decking.
What? This is ridiculous. This is total nonsense. Um,
Oh, that was fun.
so the question here is, are you going to top deck a third one?
No,
Because
I better not top deck a third
'cause-
one. I really need a resource.
my very first draw of the game, I got a Servant. My second draw of the game, I got a Servant. I wouldn't mind getting 2 Ruby resources. That would be absolutely wonderful right about now. But why do I have 3 tickets? So anyways, what I was gonna say is in the VIP, the second one, I misread the time that it was starting and totally missed it. And I only played in 1 VIP over the weekend. So that was kind of a bummer, but these things happen. So, and PTG Mock in here saying he did pretty well this weekend. He got 3 of each alternate art. Also, Kaneda was up there earlier in the chat saying that he did his very first stream today.
I know,
And that
that's
is pretty
awesome,
exciting.
Kaneda.
That's pretty
Congrats.
awesome.
Congrats.
Congrats on doing that, and I hope it went well. I've been out and about all day, so I missed it myself. That's pretty cool.
Guess you
And-
just gotta follow Kaneda. I just followed you. Not that this is like the greatest thing in the world, but you are now being stalked, sir.
Alrighty. But what were we gonna say? That's congratulations though, Mokog, on going 4-0. That's pretty impressive.
It was so exciting.
Um, well,
Hey,
I mean,
I have streamed before Neo. I just can't stream consecutively on the same week. That's all.
it's waiting for functions for a stream. I'm actually gonna try to stream tomorrow. Everything's just been really busy with stuff going on lately, but one of these days I'll be able to start streaming again, and it'll be wonderful. Whenever I do, that's the thing, is whenever I do start streaming again, I want to be able to actually do it regularly, so I don't want to stop and start all over again. We'll see. I say that, but I'm just
You're
making
totally
up
gonna
excuses.
kill a Ruby resource.
One of these
with a
days.
Sad face.
But yeah, so that's our little checkup, and we already talked about the giveaways. What else do we have? So the next one was for official
Oh, never
news.
mind. Oh, I totally misread this guy. So I'm looking at him and I'm like, oh, dude, this is the guy that can also mill me on top of being really cheap and awesome. And I'm like, oh wait, he doesn't mill me. I'm safe.
Yeah. Yeah, not necessarily the most exciting one to drop here, but what were we gonna say? Are you ready to move on to the AI with personality discussion?
Heck yeah.
Okay, actually, let me bring that up again because I think I should probably glance over it real quick so I refresh myself in all the chaos that has been going on this afternoon. And AI enhancements. Did I read most of it? Okay, yeah, no, I remember this article. Okay, I just had to refresh after all of my scatterbrain nonsense. All right, well, I think we'll go ahead and block that guy and take a whole bunch of damage. This is going to be painful, but I think I'm in trouble here. I mean, granted, if I draw a shard, I'm going to be in good shape. Even if I don't, I still have stuff I can play, which isn't so bad. Having like a ruby shard here would be great. That's not a ruby shard though, but we'll play it. Yeah, ruby shard would have been pretty nice. But here we go. So anyways, we were talking about the AI link from this past Friday. Let me post the link here in chat in case anybody has missed it. If I can manage to highlight it. Yeah, there we go. So if you missed it, it's on the official HexTCG page. Just the update from last Friday, talking about some of the AI stuff that's going on. That they're not just trying to make an AI that can have that can play a TCG, which in and of itself is pretty difficult. It's no simple undertaking. There's so many small interactions between different cards and cards that the AI needs to value in different cases. That's not easy. But on top of that, what they're also trying to do is make the AI actually have a personality. Where if you're playing against maybe in the arena and you're matched up against Yurig, that sometimes he does things that the other AIs might not do. That he really hates spiders or something. Who knows? But or he just really gets wrecked hard by a gore feast that your opponent plays when he has 2 orcs out and I have nothing to block him with, and I'm
you have something to block him with.
Yeah, so I have to block the next one, but I'm in trouble here. So we still just need to draw a Ruby Shard, and I think we're back in the game in that case. Although we're going to be in a lot of trouble either way. But yeah, so what do you have to say initially on the AI note there, Mokog?
So one of the things about the AI and what I like that they're attempting to give personality to the AI for is it's expanding on the lore through play. And that's something that a lot of games have a very difficult time doing. They tried to do exposition essentially, either like in a lot of RPGs, they'll have books with lore that players can like rifle through. They'll do it through different things like narration, which, narration is great and all. I love fantastic audio. I'd love to have Hogarth fully voiced the whole time, but the issue that comes up though is if you're always being talked at and you're always forced to read, it breaks immersion. And the hardest thing that I think Hex is going to be overcoming is cards plus MMO plus immersion.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think another thing on this AI, I think it's really interesting, and like you were saying, wow, I was in good shape here. I could just block the Fang and block with the Servant and block the Ridge Raider with the Gearsmith, and the Ridge Raider would have still died after getting debuffed from not having another Orc, but instead you just decided to play two Fierce Warlords. I guess that's cool. Sure.
Hey, you could still have something as crazy as actually, you pull a Ruby, and then I think you wreck my face.
Yeah, so if I pull a Ruby, I'm in.
I'm not even looking at the screen. The only reason you have a Ruby that would destroy me is if you have a Heat Wave sitting in your hand.
I don't have a Heat Wave. I mean, the Heat Wave would wreck my own deck, so I'm not running that in here. But
yeah, let's be honest. I think in this case, it would be better to wreck my face with a Heat Wave, and then let the two in the.
That would very much be true. But what I was going to say about the AI. Oh, because the other guy's a 1-drop as well. Well, yeah, I am pretty much wrecked then. Okay. Yep, I'm just dead, so I'm going to go ahead and concede because I'm not... Well, we'll see what we draw first. Maybe it was the Ruby to taunt myself. No, I had a Construction Foreman, which would have been really nice. And I also had a Mime Bot, so I could have, played the Mime Bot and then Construction Foreman it and all kinds of fun stuff. But that doesn't seem like that's going to be happening today.
Oh, but if you hadn't conceded, I was going to play my Zoltog.
Oh, that would have been pretty nasty as well. But what was it? Velocian was saying in here, which champion is most likely to rage quit for his or her personality? That's a fun one to think about. Just like the table flip champion, something like that. We'll go
goodness, who do I think would be the table flip champion? The one who you'd want the table flip champion to be the most unsettled player across the whole thing.
Maybe the psychotic anarchist.
You know what? No, the psychotic anarchist would not like rules, but they're psychotic. They would reach over and stab you.
Yeah.
Before then they would flip the table.
Sure, and Hogarth. I got a Siren, so I'm gonna mute myself
Hogarth
if I can reach it in time.
I think because one of the champions you can face, I believe, is Hogarth. He would flip the table. Just because you got to think, he's a little crazy, he's a little out there, he's been fairly isolated, talking to ice sculptures, and any other crazy thing that might walk up that's not technically freezable.
No.
And that's all he's got. He's got 3 heads on a pike he talks to.
No, I think I'm with you. I think Hogarth and the Psychotic Anarchist are closer together than that. That in spirit, we'll say, right? That the Psychotic Anarchist, he's crazy. He might get mad, but he's mad in the sense that he just won't give up. he just doesn't know any better, so he's not going to flip the table. And,
Well, I mean,
and same with
yeah,
Hogarth, right?
it's one of those things. So a psychotic anarchist. So one, he's a psychotic. So out there on the edge, antisocial.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't sit down with you at the table to start with.
Yeah.
And he's an anarchist, so it's like no rules. So he's throwing bombs everywhere. You know, he's. I guess he's the goblin version of V for Vendetta without any form of direction. We'll call him directionless V for Vendetta psychotic anarchist. Hogarth, on the other hand, he has direction. He's just a little deranged, and he likes to pick on everyone who's playing in his arena. Giles, table flip. Boom,
so Neo was saying Giles, and I was kind of going to say Giles too. The other one I think I would say is and also I think Giles is likely to table flip just because he has one of those abilities where like it targets something and you can use it like a time ripple in response and ruin his champion power, and then he table flips. Like that works perfectly, right? The other one I see table flipping is Avalanche Giant, and it's because his passive can potentially buff his opponent's troops, and I can see him just getting really aggravated by that.
But you know who's not going to table flip?
Who?
Zodiac Shaman, because the table's already been flipped. It may have not have been flipped in our linear point of view, but the table's flipped. Why does he have to do it?
The Zodiac Shaman and the Paladinagon. Yep. Actually, I think I've been beaten by the Paladinagon now that we're talking about it. But back on topic, we were talking about AI and programming with personality. The one thing that I'm a little bit worried about this, I meant to leave the champion screen open, is that, okay, so say they go incredibly ham with it, and like Chris just knocks it out of the ballpark, that Kishimoto has all kinds of flavor, and you can definitely tell that he's different than the other ones. And I realize I just said definitely tell, and I'm about to contradict myself. But I feel like in some cases it just has it sounds like it's a lot of work, and it has a lot of potential to be lost, to go over the head of the user, that they don't realize that the AI was playing any differently than they normally were.
I think you're right that it has a chance to go over their heads. So, for instance, one of the decks that I like taking into Arena for efficiency's sake is a charge deck, and your charge deck is working really well when it wins by turn 6. Turn 6 is not a very long time for an AI to show personality because of those first 2 to 3 building turns that come up. Because normally, with the charge deck, oh, look, my Gore Master is up to 52. Time to go ahead and, swing at you and just flat out kill you. So the really fast decks are not going to do it. I think where it's really going to start showing its paces is in our replayability when we start trying to do different things with the cards in the decks.
Yeah.
And it's something that I'll be talking about a little later on a small project I'm working on.
Nice.
But the idea is when you start experimenting with your cards and moving beyond just what we understand to be fast aggro tournament staples, and you start role-playing with your cards, and that's their big challenge.
Then you'll start feeling... Yep. Because basically at that point you're looking for it more too.
Exactly. So it's one of those things of running in there with theme decks, running in there, we call them theme decks now. Standard TCG terminology for a theme deck is it's a subpar thematic deck that you use for, kitchen table play. Well, PvE is kitchen table play with an AI that you can utterly destroy with whatever clever machination you've designed. We've been so PvP focused as a general play group right now that we have not adjusted our PvE mindset. I know it's really hard for me to do it because I'm taking a freaking charge deck in there, something that, at least mid-level tournament tier that can still whip decks out of nowhere. That's not normally something you take to have a fun experience in PvE. That's the thing you take into there to try to grind gold.
Back onto champions that would table flip, I think War Master Fuzuko would table flip. He's a War Master, he's not used to losing, and look at his eyes, he totally looks a little bit crazy. He's got
a rage bunny.
He definitely seems like he has a short temper, and
I am surprised that rabbit is not in Ruby. He's a crazy looking sort of war bunny.
Well,
you walk by him in armor on the street, and you probably don't have a head walk by.
Wild can be crazy too. But yeah, going on that. So I think in cases where I'm worried about it potentially going over people's heads, and I think what you were touching on applies to definitely like a subsect of the player base. I think another one to like help sell it or help bring it home is no, those are totally his eyes. The mask goes around his head, so that's his eye right there. Or at least that's what I think. It looks like his eyes are like super. Oh, maybe not. But then where are his eyes?
Well, his eyes are there. He's the red-eyed rabbit.
Yeah.
You know the pale. You know the pale bunnies with the red eyes.
That's totally him. Okay, yeah, those are totally his eyes. But what were we going back to? Is so say it's like one of the examples they said in the update was so and so hates spiders. So if you play something that's spider related, I almost feel like there should be a quick message or some kind of sound, a la Indiana Jones, where it's like I hate spiders kind of thing. And
that's actually one of the things touching on as well. Part of the critique is one of the things I want to look at are the things Hex is doing really right, which they've got some things they're freaking nailing amazingly.
Yeah.
And then there are other opportunities that I think that are there that for all I know they could be working on. But opportunities that I think are there, and one of those is the interaction while you're playing. The more that we can, for personality, and once you've developed an AI personality, then the champion needs to respond with something.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking of. Like the champion could quiver a little bit or do some actions. We're talking like their actual icon.
Oh yeah, like if you just shaking the portrait whenever you play certain cards is just a great visual cue, and then like all of a sudden, let's say. We'll go with a phobia. So let's say that there is a hidden ability on there that, or even one that they enunciate on the actual portrait, like arachnophobia, all orc troops fear spiders, and they just won't block spiders.
Yeah.
Let's say that happens.
That's a good way to do it.
Particular encounter. So every one of those orcs played by that character they just won't block spiders. So the way that you balance that encounter out is you have the one sane card in there that's like the non-orc. We'll say they like make a PvE form of Giles and played for that champion, just so that he can buff everyone and be like, take heart, orcs, it's just a venom.
Yeah, or it could even be an orc that like is I don't know, we'll say Cranach the Spider Slayer, and you play him, and he's got like he's holding the head of a venom or something, and he's got an axe, and he's just like a badass like that you know, that would kind of work for it too. Is he's not afraid of the spiders, and so long as he's out, he quells all the fears of the other orcs that are in play. Like I like that one.
Well, and you know what? And remember, you know, we're still at the very entry level. We don't know the other types of dungeons. We don't know all their interactions. We know what they're working on.
Yeah. And
we know what they're attempting to push out for the entry level beta experience. And I know that they can do a lot of fantastic things, but it's, we focus first on what we have, and then we talk about what we hate, what's going on, because that's how our community rolls.
And on that note, like, to wrap up the AI stuff, so we don't talk about it too long and leave time for our other stuff, is I was going to say, when Arena first came out, we hadn't really seen a whole lot of improvement to the AI. It looked like that, and if we're going to rewind even further back, the AI in the Proving Grounds has historically been like made some interesting plays, we'll put it, right? And some stuff that's been pretty humorous.
If there wasn't a clear line of play, the AI was a bit confused.
Yeah. So that was pretty obvious. In the last couple of weeks, though, if you've been playing on the test server, the AI has improved dramatically. And I kind of think what they're doing, at least it feels like, is they put in this new AI and it has the ability to learn. And now what they're doing is with the AI misplays, they're kind of doing these situations where it's like, oh, the AI wasn't able to learn in that situation what the right play was, and we had to kind of fix it a little bit. A good example right now is I think the AI doesn't identify Killipede as a threat. It just sees it as a generic 1/5 dude. And so a lot of the time it'll block stuff other than the Killipede, and it'll let the Killipede get through. And obviously the Killipede will kill anybody in 2 swings. Also, this hand, not so good. I probably could have just gone down to 5, but we're going to hope to draw into it and make the best of it. But yeah,
making the best of it.
I'm excited to see the AI getting better, because it's made playing the arena quite a bit more fun. I've enjoyed it a lot more. I played a whole bunch this weekend, and I admittedly I lost quite a bit. Granted, I was just trying different decks and in a lot of cases trying to find bugs and whatnot. But it was entertaining, and I definitely enjoyed it. We ready to move on to our next topic though?
Yeah, so love the AI. So we got our community stuff coming up, and I'll do the quick repeat from last week. So remember, HexTech is doing their Brigadon tournament.
Yeah.
That tournament is this weekend. So if you are not prepared, get prepared. If you know you want to sign up for this and you've got everything set aside, send them emails now. Figure out your deck list. The earlier the better. Make it easy on them. They're doing well by the community.
Yeah. On that note, the signups are you sign up through Challenge, and then you also, it has an entry fee of 500 plat. You're also going to need to send it to whatever username it has on their website. I think we have the link right here. Did you want to post the link for that one?
Yeah, I'll post it right quick.
Mokog's going to post that in chat, where if you are interested in playing that tournament, where you need to go. But yeah, I definitely recommend playing it if you're somebody who's interested in playing competitive constructed, and it should be a lot of fun. That's going to be this Saturday. I'm probably going to play it myself, and we'll see how that goes. But for the next topic, another one, we'll interject the one that I inserted in here, which was just last night. I almost forgot to mention it on the show, and that's why it wasn't on the notes. Is just last night I published an article up on 5shards.com. I actually didn't paste the link for it. I need to go copy one. But I posted an article up on 5shards, and that is about building on a budget, kind of. We called it Budget Beatdown, and on there I talked about a Gas Troll and Gore Master combo deck that I did pretty well in the Primal Cup with, which we talked about last week. And the deck is only about $9 to build, and it's still pretty powerful. And on top of that, it's also really, really good in PvE because it has that explosive power of Gore Master, which I felt like the AI was having a hard time dealing with in a lot of cases.
It depends. If you can get through, if you don't have all your tools, but you still try to push it, the AI will punish you for it. And that's one of the things I've noticed. So you still have to have a measure of skill to push through the Gore Master deck.
Yeah.
But just because the AI will get crazy on you from time to time.
Actually, and I should say, Gore Master is currently disabled on the test realm due to a bug. And because of that, I haven't been able to play that deck against the improved AI. So who knows? Maybe it was just the kind of lackluster AI was having trouble with Gore Master. But now that everything's been improved by a decent amount, that everything would be much more difficult for that deck. So we'll see. Yeah, Baby Yeti looks like it's about all I'm going to be playing this game, Nero. So on that note, not doing so hot.
Hey, at least you're rocking the alternate art, Baby Yeti.
That's true. It looks like I'm going to be 0 for 2 probably with our Fierce Warlord decks. But I'll tell you, for everybody listening, playing these Fierce Warlord decks is a lot of fun.
All right, so I haven't seen the concept yet. So you have a lot of low cost. You're running Sapphire Wild or Sapphire Ruby, right?
Yeah.
So you're using your Fierce Warlord at what point in the game, though?
As soon as I have, well, basically as soon as I have 2 1-drops on play and on the board, and the only thing that's not a 1-drop is the Fierce Warlord.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this case, this would be the time that you'd want to drop your Fierce Warlord, right?
Yeah, if I had it, I would totally drop it right now. I mean, ideally, it's like you go turn 1, Servant of Shithak, turn 2, like, I don't know, Construction Foreman onto a Mine Bot, and then turn 3, Fierce Warlord, buffing the Construct Foreman and the Servant, or something like that. Even Windborn Acolyte getting buffed by Fierce Warlord, pretty good. Like, although you have a ton of 1-drops, and buffing them is pretty good. So that's what the deck's trying to do, at least. Although it doesn't seem like I'm doing too well tonight. But at least with this deck, like, the games are over pretty fast, and this game's going to be over very fast. I like Zoltog with the Fierce Warlord. That's a good call there, and that one puts in work pretty well. But yeah, so this deck is, it's fun to just build decks with Fierce Warlord and bash them against each other. It's a nice little change of pace every once in a while. And in this case, I'm kind of in trouble, it looks like, but we'll go like this, and like that, and like that. And yeah, So PTG Mock is in here saying that the test server is patching right now, so that's kind of exciting. We'll see what we have coming in on this, and that's all that. So yeah, I have an article up on 5 shards. Folks should check it out if they're interested in doing that, and hopefully I'll be posting some more budget decks on a weekly basis, or not weekly basis, sorry, but on a more frequent basis, I should say. On the deck I was talking about on 5 shards was just a wild Ruby deck, if that's what you're asking about, No Rager. And this deck that I'm playing right now, I think I have 16 shards in. Oh, yeah, that's what you're asking. How many shards in this deck? It's either 16 or 17. I think I meant to go down to 16, but it still has 17, something like that. But it's fun. What are we doing? But yeah, that's all that. I think for our big piece of news, at least for me personally, is the next piece of community news, and we will, in case you hadn't already guessed, it is the reason why we are using that as the giveaway code. But if you haven't already seen it today, Ossuary made a post that worded it quite well. He and I have been working over the weekend to start getting the... Wow. That's really nasty with Zoltog.
Yeah.
Okay, well... I mean,
so my thought is because you could have craziness, but you don't have enough to counter, and it doesn't seem like your actions are super crazy.
Well, the actions in my deck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have almost I have almost no actions at all. It's just supposed to be, play out a bunch of stuff, and it's not meant to be a strong deck. It's just meant to be a fun one. But anyways, we were talking about bug wrangling and stuff.
Now here's this crazy thing, and I have to mention this now. When you go something crazy to me like, build a warlord deck, and I'm like, okay, he's got some crazy deck idea that's just as cool as when he brought up that other tournament deck to me that I fell in love with Oberon's Eulogy. He's got something crazy. I'm like, okay, I have to build something really cool to fight Function with, and I've got 5 minutes to do it. And that was my deck building challenge before this. 5 minutes to build a warlord deck, and Function's got some secret tech I haven't thought of yet.
All right, so we mentioned all the giveaways we were doing, but yes, what were we saying? I agree. I mean, this time it wasn't any secret tech or anything. It was just something that was fun. Sometimes
like,
it's fun
especially when you mentioned Neo, because Neo's got some of these crazy ideas that he thinks of because he's on British time.
Well, no, he and I were just smashing Fierce Warlord decks against each other for funsies after deck testing the other night, so it was fun stuff. But speaking of which, I think it's time to have a giveaway. And
shall we do,
what was I gonna do?
Draft code or crack it back?
You know what I think we're gonna do is we're gonna just add on a giveaway, and this is for me being excited about the bug wrangling. Is I'm gonna just raffle off a set 1 primal right now. This will be one of my own. So Neo sent me one earlier, but we're gonna give away. Actually, I think the one he sent me might have been a set 2 primal. I can't even remember. But we're gonna raffle off a set 1 primal right now, and I'm just gonna throw it out. This is for everybody who's been tuned in from the show from the beginning too. So you don't. All those people who tune in at the last minute just to win giveaways, they're missing out this time. All right, so we're gonna roll the dice. Let me bring up the screen region if I can. There, fix that. There we go. Nope, that's not quite yet. There we go. All right, so this can be for set 1 primal, and this is because what we're about to talk about is something I'm excited about, and hopefully everybody helps me out a little bit with it, we'll say. And No Rager 49 is the winner of a primal pack here. This is just an extra giveaway I felt like doing. So No Rager, I know you're in chat because you've been chatting with us a good bit of the time here. Let me know what your in-game name is, and I'll just send you the primal right now. That'll be easy. So what were we saying? Shout out to No Rager. No Rager is actually one of our consistent viewers. He hasn't been with us every single show, but he's been with us a lot of them. Yeah.
And he's always been contributing. So thumbs up to people who contribute who also win, because we don't control the roles, but we love it when our consistent viewers win too. My
cat's making noise over there. But yeah, no, we have a lot of regular viewers, which is awesome. I always like seeing the regular people come in here and just hang out with us. It makes it, we got an awesome community, and that's fun. Speaking of awesome community, though, the link I posted right there, Ossuary made, but over the weekend, we were talking to Fenteo and we were saying, hey, the two of us, we think that we can do a good job of keeping the bug forums a little bit more tidy, and this is very time consuming, so that's why it wasn't already happening. But a few people were saying, they wish it was communicated better or a little bit more clear what the bugs were, or maybe that the list was a little bit more comprehensive and easier to filter through. And that's kind of what we're going to be working towards. We're working to make the bug forums, both for the test server and for the just regular beta server or regular live server, the reports and everything, the known issue tracker, it to function the way it ought to. And in this case, we're going to be trying to make the list more comprehensive, sifting through various bugs that are out there. And there's a lot of duplicate threads out there, which actually I don't consider a problem that people are creating them. But if they're not being merged together, it creates extra clutter on the forums and it makes it harder to use for everybody.
All right, so to make sure I understand this, so you and Oss, which Oss is fantastic. I got to see Oss on Sithos' stream recently, and he's also got a glorious beard. But aside from that, so from my understanding, what people ought to do now is that they still should go to the forums to post a bug and any backup they've got for it. But then are you also making sure that when they do find them that they put in tickets for them as well?
Well, putting in tickets for a bug isn't necessarily...
because they have a bug report ticket, right?
Oh, well, that's not quite as necessary, really. And it's not... that's tangential to what we're trying to do. Because there's internal testing, obviously. Like, they have a QA team, and GameForge has one, and they're doing their internal, like, bug testing and everything. And also, in addition to that, there's... how else would I put it? They have their internal build, and that's going to be different than our live build. This is more to just make the community aware what the bugs are and say, hey, these are the bugs, or...
so we're looking like informational for everyone sort of thing, not just you found something and you just want to report that it's still happening, but you found it, you see no one's reported it yet, you put a post up.
Well,
so you and Oss are basically finding all of those unique ones, making sure they've been confirmed, and then merging them into a super thread?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you can see it on there. We started on the test forums, and we're waiting to do it for the live server one until they push a new build, because right now we could do it with what's out there, but it would be really time consuming. Like, it's already really time consuming to do this. And so the big idea is we just want to do it efficiently. And if we did it for the live server, we'd basically be wasting a lot of our time, because a lot of those bugs are fixed, or they just don't exist in the current state that they do. But what I would say, and what I was initially getting at when I was saying hopefully I can get help from the users who are submitting reports on the forums, is when you submit a report, please use the template that is on there. Actually, it might only be listed currently on the test bug report forum, but there's just a little list. It says like keep name, description of bug, ways to reproduce it. And sure, if you can't figure out how to reproduce it, don't worry. But if you use that, it just makes it easier for us to kind of filter through quickly. And also, if there are ways to reproduce it, if you have figured out how, I would say, thumbs up to you. Thank you for doing so. And let me give out this primal real quick to No Rager.
So
real quick
while you're doing that for No Rager, I have a quick question for you. So if y'all are just working on the test server at the moment, and you know that a lot of bugs have been fixed, do you know which bugs have been fixed? Have you been supplied some crucial, interesting information about what might be on the next patch? Do you know what they fixed, what they haven't fixed, what they're still working on? Do you want to tell us and give us a fantastic scoop?
If I knew, I couldn't share that. But
hey, I had to push for it. You never know.
Yeah.
Okay, technically you do know because you're helping out, but still, I'm trying.
Yeah. But where was I gonna say? Let me, because Meowstiff was mentioning it in here. Meowstiff, I always love that name. That was the funniest thing when when I had him press the button and Meowstiff won the giveaway. That was like awesome. So No Rager sent you the primal. Hopefully that got your way. Where was the thing here? All
right. So in any case, so you and Oss are both helping out. So did they do anything special for you?
Well, we got forum icons, and actually got to choose what our icon was going to be, which was fun. Penteo was asking, what did he suggest? He suggested a couple, but then I said Agent of Mole because it looks like he's finding a bug on the roof and like pulling it down or something. But yeah, yeah. So there's the also the template that I posted. Try to use that when you can. It's helpful. Also, I would finally say, some people are reluctant to post bugs because they go, oh well, it might already be on there. I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't care if somebody posts makes a new thread for a bug that is already reported. It's not a big deal. I can just merge the threads and it's all honky dory. Like that's easy for me. It's better that people report stuff and it already be there than people not report stuff and it never got reported kind of thing. Because who knows? Maybe some of these bugs might not have been discovered yet, which is totally possible, and that does happen. But yeah, I mean that's the gist of that. We could talk about it for a little bit longer, but there's not really much need to. I would say read Osteori's post that he made, because that has a pretty good description of how we're going to be planning to handle everything in the future and making tags and kind of making things tidy and easy to read for the people who are reading through the bug report forms. We're going to have different tags, whether it's pending or confirmed or resolved or not a bug, all that kind of stuff, and should be a lot of fun.
All right, so the kind of transition, I had another really cool thing happen while I was playing on the test server this weekend, and I want to link it to our chat question before I go into the story. And so my question for chat is have you tried Arena yet? And if you have, what is your favorite encounter? Because I have a favorite encounter that just happened to me last night, and it was really sweet and surprised me.
I bet I can guess what it is, only because I saw a Twitter post you made the other night.
So what I ended up coming across, so I'm going through Arena. I haven't cleared it too many times just because of when I was first able to get into it. It was kind of slow. My ego up and down while they were getting everything ironed out, and plus there were a ton of people on. But last night, I finally was able to pick up from where one of my saves was, and I was able to complete through and go to the end of the arena. Now, in the final tier of the arena, on like the third encounter right before the boss, all of a sudden I noticed that it brings up Uranus. And I'm looking at Uranus. I'm like, oh, wow, this could be a really cool encounter. But wait, Uranus is not made of ice. Uranus is fully colored, standard colors. Oh, God. I think I'm actually playing the dragon. This is different because all your other characters, they're all the icy color. They're all they're all statues essentially created by Hogarth for his entertainment. No, this is Uranus coming down.
Not to completely ruin your day, Mokog, but there was, and while we're talking about bugs, there was definitely a bug where the portrait was not icy for some champions when it should have been. But I haven't faced Uranus yet, and I don't know if he's just not supposed to be icy. But
so that could be a bug, but it's the only time I've seen of the champions I faced where it occurred. And the reason I think it's special is because if you do happen to beat Uranus, which I got really lucky, and that I didn't get fully shut down before I could get stuff on field, I was able to bring down Uranus like a couple hit points before he could have destroyed my face.
Yeah.
But the bonus from that is you got the Dragon's Horde. The Dragon's Horde, which you complete, and that, for my case, was like 100k gold.
That's pretty insane.
6 chests.
That's a lot of gold.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, you get extra chest. You get like bonus chests for just defeating Uranus. Then you said.
And it wasn't. It was the loot chest that you get from the arena.
Oh, okay.
But it had gear specific for Uranus's cards, and that was on top of the standard win for defeating that champion.
Nice.
So where before it was kind of mediocre because I was running the charge deck and it's not my consistent version, and the updates occur back and forth. And I'll be honest, on the test server, I'm lazy when updating decks. If I don't have it built, I'm not fixing it.
Sure.
So in any case, this not super consistent thing was kind of going up and down, but it survived Uranus, and I'm like, this is awesome. And just I would say Uranus probably would have been more of a kind of a penultimate thing, is like if it was the last encounter. But I saw Uranus come up, I saw the coloration change, and I'm like, oh, this is different.
That's pretty sweet.
And I think that's actually one of the ways that they can increase interaction, is that for certain things, they need to be a little different.
Yeah.
So, if your common foe that you fight happens to be one of the ice sculptures, maybe every once in a while, a non-ice sculpture champion comes up with something different.
Yeah, no,
And that's, which I know they've got all their champions currently set, but
yeah.
I'm just saying that would make me super happy.
Well, you say they have all the champions currently set, but I don't remember seeing the Blood Sphinx like in previous ones, and that was on
Well,
the test server this
I
weekend.
know they have them. They have them picked out. You know, Corey
Yeah,
and
yeah.
his team knows. You know, they've got those decks built.
Not
whether
all
or
of them
not
are
they're fully
implemented, sure.
Uh,
Yeah.
But you know, maybe some of them are like standard characters. I know most of the ones that I've seen so far, they've been ice sculptures.
Yeah, yeah. That Blood Sphinx was pretty cool. But who was it? Okay, Jensling was saying Corey, and I was like, where? But he meant that was one of his favorite champions to play against. Corey is a lot of fun to play against, and
Oh,
Corey
yeah.
also totally cheats.
Yes,
But
Corey's card is a cheaty face, and I think they use Corey's card sometimes. Like his early plays are the most cheaty to me.
yeah,
Because I think Corey's deck almost always has a very good early line of play, and it just makes you unhappy to face him.
yep. But yeah, Corey's deck is pretty nasty with those cheaty ingenuity engines or whatever it is.
Luckily, he hasn't cheated out an ingenuity engine on me yet, but
Oh, yeah,
it's
he can
still.
I have to say, out of all of them, what is it? Yurig and the freaking ballistic specialist, like, or you know what? In general, we'll just say it across the board. All of the dwarf champions and the robot champions, you know, they can do inappropriate things to themselves because those guys they're really hard for me to beat. Like maybe it's just the decks I'm playing are not good against those decks, but like I'll be steamrolling the rest of the arena and along comes Warbot or along comes Yurig and it's like, oh well guess what? You are not going to continue any further. So yeah.
Let's see. I don't think I faced Warbot yet. I think I faced Yurig once, and that was an unhappy situation as well. But I think one of the things, and Corey's deck is especially very good against the charge style of deck, which is kind of like the battleship troop a lot of the time. Because, you know, if I drop a turn 3, I drop my turn 3 Gore Master, I'm expecting turn 4 to kill.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden Corey transforms my troop. I'm like, oh, dad nabbit. You weren't supposed to do that one. Never mind. I'm not yet thinking in the part of, all right, the AI has a charge or has the charges to flip next turn. They're probably going to drop a resource to do it. I need to play something for them to target before then I do that. I wasn't counterplaying yet. And that's what, if you don't counterplay Corey, Princess Corey, then... And if you just try to go for the straight line of play, which you're able to do against a lot of the AI right now, is follow a straight line of play and then win. And that's one of the reasons why I like the charge deck versus it, because it's very good. It's got a short line of play that generally wins. But the decks that don't, and Yurig is one of them, that sometimes your straight line of play is just going to kill you. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Uranos was like
good.
That too.
Yeah.
Because
I have not played against Uranos yet.
Uranos had some unique removal, and they, when I was facing it, brought out 3 of its unique troops. And I got lucky and I pulled the right removal before the life drain got out of hand.
Nice.
I was not happy. And plus it milled my hand and was milling my deck. I was scared because I'm like, oh god, I'm about to have no hand.
That's pretty nasty.
Oh yeah, it was shut down. I got lucky on my top decks at that point.
So what are the folks in here in chat saying? Lifelack was saying against the Seaweed Behemoth that they got him with a 1919 reactor bot on turn 4. That's pretty ridiculous. Also, the Seaweed Behemoth has that like because in that case, the Seaweed Behemoth, it has the ability where it's like every charge you gain has a 25% chance to gain another charge, and there's potential that charge procs again. So you know it could get 20 charges in one turn if it just gets lucky enough and it flips the coin often enough in the right direction. And that's how it can get out of hand pretty quickly. And funny things can happen there. With the Warbot has, I think it's the Warbot at least, every single shard in the deck is a crackling vortex. So it doesn't just have 4 crackling vortex in the deck. No, every single shard in the deck is a crackling vortex, and it generates charges really fast. And then its charge power is something like either 19 or 20 charges, void all the non-robots in play. And it's like, all right, well, I guess that's cool. And then 2 turns later, it does it again. You just get wrecked.
And actually, Lifelink 3 mentions the Avenging Angel deck.
Yeah, that
I
one's
got
fun.
lucky with the Avenging Angel deck, and what ended up happening with that one is they hit removal at the right times to take out my Gore Masters. So I am trying to kind of push along, and then they drop a totem on me, and I'm like, oh god, it's a totem. Please don't get flight. Don't give it flight. Don't give it flight. Because as soon as it gives it flight, I'm dead because I have nothing in the air. And each turn, it had 6 resources. It was giving it +2/+2. I'm like, oh, thank God. Because the instant this thing flies, I'm done for. And that's where, you look at that as an AI mistake, but that's also an opportunity for the idea of AI personality.
Yeah.
What if in the mind of the Avenging Angel, only angels fly?
Yeah, there you go. I like that. Ratker was pointing out, yeah, actually the Warbot was changed.
Okay.
It used to be 20 charges, and now it's only 10. And it also gets charges every time it's either a robot or an artifact. I think artifact. Every time an artifact comes into play, that player gets a charge. And like that coupled with having all crackling vortexes in the deck, like it voids your deck all the time, or voids your board all the time. And you're just, I don't know. Maybe I think what it really is I'm a little salty about losing to that this morning.
You know what? I remember facing off against also the seaweed one.
Mm-hmm. That one's fun.
So, facing off against him, it was also kind of a charge deck. Well, that ability, 25% chance to get an additional charge when you're playing a Gore Master charge deck. You're like,
oh yeah,
I get to kill you faster. This is not the deck for you.
The way your face lit up when you said that was great. But yeah, AI has been a lot of fun.
Okay, so I understand that I have a tendency to be a little animated with my hands, and I do crazy things with the face from here and there. A lot of that happens when I'm playing, especially when the stream is off, because I haven't learned to properly moderate all of that yet for the stream to actually let that nonsense out. But sometimes when I'm playing, my eyes will just get nice and big, and I'll be like, oh, this is my match. To win and lose, but I'm going to win because I love gold.
All right,
that will be said, and my wife thinks I'm creepy sometimes.
Speaking of winning, I think it's time we have another raffle.
Yes.
So let's fire it off.
So we have not given away.
We'll do a draft code.
We're going to give away a draft code. Let's give away a draft code. Who are we giving the draft code to?
Okay, let me scroll back down. I don't know why I keep scrolling back up. I guess it's to see the rest of the thing. All right, but we're gonna go ahead and roll the dice and see what we got. So Jensling, who just chimed in about Corey being one of his favorite things, I think he was saying, right? That was Jensling? Yeah, Corey being one of his favorite champions against in the arena. Jensling is the winner of a draft code. Jensling, you're going to have to send me Funktionfails on Twitch a message, and that way I can send you the code. No Rager, you should have already gotten the Primal, hopefully, and so that's all settled. But Jensling won a draft code, so congrats on that. And hopefully you perform well in your draft, and Kismet treats you well. You open some good cards and a lot of other good stuff. But going back on that, I love the AI improvements on.
Oh yeah.
What was I gonna do? I was gonna do something real quick.
All right, so I love the AI improvements too. And speaking of those, I have a pet theory about Primal tournaments.
Okay.
I think that might be the time when Chris Woods is deciding whether or not he wants to run in on the test server his souped up AI. You remember they were talking about in one of the updates, and I think they may have been on stream. They're like, I kind of want to try the souped up version of the AI against players in a tournament, but that seems unfair. Not if it's a test tournament.
That is evil.
I'm saying, open up the test tournament server. Don't say a thing. Hex IDs. We won't be none the wiser until all of a sudden a hex ID wins the tournament.
Yeah, I want to see like a 128-man tournament where they enter the AI like 8 times and just happen to see how it does. Like, I'm guessing, well, in some cases in the arena, the AI has the extra advantage. It's able to play Ingenuity engines into play, or it has these charge powers that are really strong. But I would be very amused if, maybe they help the AI along and they build the deck for it. and
Yeah,
just let it play.
because it's an AI.
But
It's a playing AI,
yeah,
so they've got great deck builders. They got people who understand the game,
yeah.
because they're making
So,
it.
so they help it along a little bit, and then just set it loose. I would be incredibly amused,
Mhm.
and
And you want to know how I'd like them to
yeah.
do it? Here's how I'd like them to do it. So I'd like them to set up their AIs, and I want them to do a capture of two of the AIs as they're
Mhm.
playing through, just so
Oh,
it sees, so you see what the plays and stuff are going on, but not tell anyone until the following Friday post.
yeah, exactly.
And
Don't tell
so,
anybody it happened.
yeah, so they go, we had a 128-man tournament. We filled it up. We did special big event prizes. We have Hex players going in. And the reason that you have the terminals up with at least people sitting there but not playing
Mhm.
is to respond in chat so players don't know. And so you just let the AI playing. And then basically you have the little video. And then they go, by the way, they take the camera, they point it at the screen, they point it at it playing, and no one's touching the keyboard or the
Mhm.
mouse, and put it back and like,
Yeah.
that was all AI. It went X and X.
I-
This tournament, our AI rocks.
You know what they need to do? Even better than that, they need to stream the AI playing. They need to do of an
I would say
event.
do that. I
Yeah.
would say do that after.
Yeah,
you
after.
Fail it, and
Do
then
it.
do like just have an hour stream of it playing.
Yeah, have an hour stream of just Chris Wood's talking about whatever he wants to, and
Yeah.
while he's doing, they can have the AI in like the proving grounds just playing against people, or maybe fire up a tournament or like an 8-man tournament or something, and that would be I think that would be pretty
Actually,
entertaining.
You know what you could do? You can have it as a Chris Woods AMA, and
Yeah.
just so the
Yeah.
AMA is Chris Woods responding back and forth, but the entire time it's just the AI playing.
On the stream. I love that idea. Like, I think that's a lot of fun. I want to see that happen. But anyways, we were talking about the AI, and to bring it full circle is I really like the champions that they have in the arena. And at first I was kind of bummed that some of the champions felt like we would never really be able to explore or appreciate their deck lists, just because either the AI was subpar maybe, and the deck lists were subpar. But it seems like now they've kind of hit the perfect spot where the first 5 are still pretty easy, but at least it still feels like you're getting an experience rather than just kind of like, we're just giving this one to you. So I like that. Yeah.
Oh, most definitely. So I think, and still, right now, my favorite encounter is the Uranaz encounter because it just surprised. And
Alright.
especially any time that you're playing an AI game and you are legitimately surprised by what just occurred, I think is a great experience, and I think that's always an experience that you can latch onto for expanding something in the lore. So, like for instance, if you know how in it'll show like what the powers and stuff are. That's a great little area that whenever someone checks out and there's a creative different encounter, there's something a little extra there.
Sure.
If we can start getting either animations or some voiceover or some additional text boxes for some of the non-statuesque
We
types
need
of
to get
encounters.
Nero to do all the voiceover.
Nero or Chris, I think we can get a combination of stuff going on. Unless, of course, Nero's got like 10,000 voices, and then heck yeah.
But yeah, I want to see that happen, Nero. Nero can do all the Venom voices, maybe. I like it. But and you can do all the robot voices. You can just go beep boop beep boop beep. I like that. But going back onto that, I think we are ready to talk about our card of the week, perhaps.
Yes, let's bring up the card of the week.
What's this Neo saying pff about? Oh, Nero's been in here the whole time. He's been hanging out here. He just wasn't chatting too much. All right, but anyways, card of the week, we have it here. And actually, you picked the card of the week, and because we were in a rush, I didn't even have a chance to read the card. I don't even know if I've read this card at all yet, so I don't even know what this card does. You want to introduce us to it?
Yes, let me, while it's coming up here, and I want to make sure that I have a nice close-up version of what we got here. So, this is the Winged Terror. So the Winged Terror is a PvE card. It's a 2-cost, 2-blood threshold. With flight, it's got 2 attack, and it's got 1 on the back end. So its ability, when this deals combat damage to an opposing champion, that champion chooses and discards a card. When this dies, repeat, bury the top 4 cards of each opposing champion's deck for each winged terror in your graveyard. So the thing about this is the blood decks that can make use of this if we ever happen to get a hold of this, which I don't think we're supposed to. So, but the thing is that to save your hand, you have to use your removal and the winged terror every time it comes in. But every time you get it, it's going to hit one of those. For every one of in there, it's going to bury 4 cards from the top of your deck.
I like it.
From the Uranage champion, what that champion does is that for, I believe, 5 charges, it pulls a card, not a troop, a card from your deck and puts it into play on their side. So the winged terrors, when they come out early, are taking all the good cards from your hand and putting them. Well, they're taking the subpar ones because you get to choose. But basically, since you're always going to want to be playing good cards, good cards are going into your graveyard very quickly. And when you happen to actually kill the winged terror, 4 random cards are going into your graveyard. And about the time the second winged terror comes around, guess who happens to have 5 charges and takes your most epic thing ever. And that's the scary part about Uranaz, is that it's got really good hand destruction and a scary form of mill.
I want to see Uranaz Replicator's Gambit, the Winged Terror, and then play Extinction.
Oh god. Thankfully, it was mono blood.
Yeah, what Wingill's saying. Yeah.
So it was kind of scary. Now the thing is that technically, depending on the level of AI, it could pull something that you're playing from your graveyard. It could pull the card, play it, target the winged terror, and then do it that way.
Yeah, I also...
So if you happen to be playing Replicator's Trance, it burns one, and then it can do it that way. But I don't know if it's sophisticated enough for that yet. But if it is, ouch.
What else I want to see is a card where it says sacrifice, or in addition to playing this card, sacrifice a troop you control, create a replica, and put it into play of the troop you sacrifice. So it's just like, kill your own wing terror, put a new one in play, and it just like keeps going around and creating that engine. Oh, that'd be pretty evil.
Now, I could see players doing something like that to certain decks.
Yeah.
Just because that's the kind of crazy bonkers thing that would be fun. I think it's a little too easy of a combo.
Yeah, no, I think so too.
Just because unless of course you come up against a raid and they go, you can't discard all the cards from this raid. Ha 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 ha. Oh god, I can't wait till we have raids. Because here's something that's going to happen with a raid at some point, whether it is next year or the year after or the year after. There's going to be a raid with 2 decks.
Yeah.
And it's going to draw from each of those decks. And
it's like a 2-headed ogre or something like that.
Yes. Yeah. And it's going to be a raid boss that's pulling from 2 raid decks. And it's going, oh, you think we've power curved the cards too much? Watch us destroy you in PvP.
Yeah, I like it. What Frog here was saying in here goes back to what we were talking about earlier of like putting the AI into a tournament and not letting anybody know that they were playing against the AI.
I think that should happen. I think it should be a free tournament.
The AI should talk to people in chat too. That would be even better.
Well, no, and that's you have the AI play, but you have someone behind the computer chatting.
Yeah.
And so it plays the whole time. And your only indication might be if it plays while typing at the same time.
What I like,
your only indicator.
What I like Frogger saying though is he wants to see the AI play against itself, just like they do that for other games. I think they do it for like Civ 5 or something, and where they have it playing against itself and cool stuff like that. But yeah, I like what's going on. This card's a lot of fun. Is this a PvE card that players can get, or is it one that's AI only? I forget
at the moment, I think this one's an AI only from the browser, because anything that a player can get, the browser allows you to add to your collection.
Yeah.
So I believe that's what's up with the Wing Terror. So I believe it's AI only, which thank God, because again, Replicator's Trance or Replicator's Gambit Wing Terror.
Some fun
kind
stuff.
Of nasty.
Granted, I mean, pulling that off is a little easier said than done, but that won't forever be the case. So,
and who knows? Maybe Wing Terror may come, down in a later set somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised if certain PvE or AI only things might be suitable for a later tournament environment.
Orange is alternate art.
Orange is either alternate art or promo. So that's generally what they are. But I've also seen them use it on AI only things. If I
Okay,
remember
so maybe you and Gensling are right then. Never mind. Foot and mouth. But yeah, so that's Winged Terror. It's a fun card. I like it, and cool stuff. Before we
and
move
it's
on
scary.
to our next topic, I think it's giveaway time.
All right, so are we going to give away our Cracker Pack or Draft or Neo's Primal?
You know what? We're not going to give any of those away. We're going to give away one of Nero's Master Moss.
Oh,
we have
got
Master
more
Moss to
than
give
that.
away today too. All right.
Sweet.
So this is Master Moss number 1. I say number 1 because we have more than one to give out. But we'll go ahead and have raffle for that. So here's Screen Region.
Now, my question is did Neo send this or did Nero send
this? This was Nero, other similar sounding name. But we're gonna go ahead and roll the dice, and see who wins. So you ready here?
Go for it.
All right, this is Franker, who we were just chatting with.
Sweet.
What do you know? So congratulations, Franker. You are the winner of a Master Moss. Congratulations. Fun times. Franker,
Congratulations.
What's your in-game name? If you send it right now, I'll send you the card. Otherwise, if you don't send, or just type it out in chat. If you wait, if you send me it later, it'll take me a little while. But if you type your in-game name right now in chat, I'll send you the Master Moss, and it'll be easy peasy.
All right, so I need to make sure I understand this to give Frotker a chance to type in his IGN. So we started off today. We were giving away 2 draft codes, our Cracker Pack code, and then Neo sent us a Primal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, we just got slammed with 2 Master Mosses in the face by Nero, who, again, I put up for the next Exalted. I nominate you, sir. You are nominated. I don't know if I can actually nominate people like we can nominate people for, or you know how like sports writers can nominate people. Yeah. But you're in my Exalted position because he does it across every stream. The only one who I know is about as generous as that is Colin.
Yes. Okay, so Franker saying his in-game name is Twolf. We'll send him on over a mail here with where is it? Twolf. And this is Master Moss. And thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. And be sure to follow the HexTCG channel because there's a bunch of other awesome people also streaming. And be sure to, thank, among other people, thank Neurogenerous for adding to the giveaway pool.
And while we got a couple things. So here's Mokog's fast way to exploit the community. Follow everyone, watch all of their streams, interact with all their community. If you do these things and be a nice... you don't always have to be like the calm, placid figure. You just don't be a troll. Mm-hmm. Generally, and this is generally, we love all of our streamers. We love our community. We love the people who watch. We love the people who interact. So if you want to take advantage of all of the free stuff, participate.
Yep.
Get in. Join all the cool stuff, especially all of the, I call them early morning streams because you're missing my crack of dark. But I see all of the great things in Sirius's stream. I see all the great ones in Neo's stream. There's really great people in all of our early streamers, especially I've seen cool people in Mythics, Sithos's. Hacky has a lot of cool, fun people too.
Infamous Neo, though, I mean, no, I don't know about that guy.
No,
I'm just giving him a hard time.
You know what? Watching Neo is like having coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
It sometimes is bitter, but you can't make it through the day without him.
There you go.
And it's just one of those things one of the great things about community, and one of the things that I think helps make our community special is we're tight-knit, but we're open.
Yeah.
The streamers
Yeah.
know each other. We talk to each other. We don't always plan things together because some of us are not the best planners.
I don't have a whole lot of time to watch streams as much as I like. I mean, I don't have enough time to stream myself, much less watch a whole bunch of streams, and we're doing this one. But I do when I have time. And what was I going to say? Penta. I like watching Penta because
Penta is awesome too.
Because usually when I watch Penta, I'm not saying criticize his play a lot or his draft picks, but I'll give my 2 cents, and he welcomes that, and we will often discuss the picks, and I like to actually discuss them and talk about strategy a little bit more, and it's good times doing so. So I like that. And Infamous Neo, if he's known as anything, it's for being a ray of sunshine. It'll brighten up everybody's day. But anyways,
Neo.
what were we saying?
Oh, Neo, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine.
And the stream just goes downhill from here.
Happy when okay, fine, I won't.
Alrighty.
But so to jump back on track, so are we going to give away our second Master Moss now, or are we
Yeah,
going to...
we'll just fire it off because we actually do have a lot of giveaways still, and I want to space them out rather than just have them all at the end. I think spacing them out probably better.
All right, so while you're rolling the next Master Moss, so this is the second Master Moss. We still have our Crack a Pack on top of a draft to give away, and a set one or a primal, whether it's set one or set two, whatever.
Well, here's what we after this giveaway. So this is our second Master Moss. After that one is done, from what what I imagine, we still have to give away, and you can correct me here. We still have one draft code. We still have the Crack a Pack. We still have Neo's Primal, and we still have 2 more Master Moss. So that's Crack a Pack, draft code, Neo's Primal.
There are 4 Master Moss?
We still have 5 more giveaways to do. We've been giving away a lot of stuff today.
All right, so I know we've given away one. We're about to give away the second. Are you saying there are 2 more Master Moss after that?
Yeah, we have 4 Master Moss to give away today. It's pretty awesome. Alrighty, so we are going to go ahead and roll the dice. That is 2 more.
And I like bug wrangling, bug wrangling, bug wringling, bug wringling. Yeah. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
remember,
actually,
you only have to enter once, though.
Yeah, you only have to enter once to enter for the giveaways. It puts you into all of them, although you can only win once per show. So that's that. I will say real quick on the bug wrangling, since everybody's been doing it, is if you're on the test server, even the live server, but as we were saying, the live server, our bug form improvements are going to be coming once we get a new build pushed. But on the test server, we're already working on stuff there. If you encounter a bug on the test server, please be diligent about reporting them. It's helpful for me, it's helpful to Ossuary, it's helpful to everybody, and we appreciate it. And when you do report them, if you happen to be able to take a screenshot, that's a real big help in determining whether or not it's actually a bug, or if there was something else going on, or being able to reproduce it. And also using the template for doing so is very helpful as well, because then it's just easier for me to read when they're all formatted the same way. So that's my little spiel about bug wrangling, and it's nice to be able to contribute in some way and volunteer a little bit more of my time towards doing so. All right, so now it is time to roll the raffle. This is for Master Moss numero dos. All right, Wraith 23, you are the winner of a Master Moss. And actually, did I send out the first one? I'm pretty sure I did. Let me double check that I actually did. That was to 12. Yeah, that was to Frocker. So that's good. So now we've sent out 2 of our 8 giveaways for the day. The draft code is will be sent on the Twitch message. And this 4th giveaway that we're doing right now is to Wraith23. And congratulations to you. You won a Master Moss. Just so you know what your in-game name is. It looks like he just joined the giveaway, so it was his lucky day. Yeah, congratulations. So yeah, just type in here, Wraith, what your in-game name is here in chat, and I will send it to you right now, so that way I don't have to after the show. Save a little bit of time for everybody. In the meantime, what's our next topic? Because I think we still have another thing or two to talk about tonight while we're hanging out here.
So one of the things, so we just covered a little bit of our what our favorite encounters are.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the things we haven't talked about yet that I think we should talk about is what they've been doing with the test server limited formats.
Yeah, and you started kind of talking about wacky stuff on the test server with potentially playing against the AI, but we didn't even talk about this yet. So
that's because this sucker is cool. Like, because I've been watching the streams, people are requesting streamers to go in and do these events all the time.
Yeah.
And I think I destroyed King Gabriel's thing and made normal chat.
Thank
I'm
you,
sorry, King Gabriel. But in any case, so one of the things that they've been doing is they've been doing primal drafts. And so if you don't know what the primal draft is, or you haven't seen it yet, so a primal draft is they start with a set 2 primal, and you draft the primal. Then you get a set 2 pack, and then I believe it's a set 2 primal at the end. In any case, it's primal pack primal.
I have not been able to join one of the primal drafts, so the order
in any case,
you would know better than me.
Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's a set 2 primal in at the end as well. I think it's all set 2 for the primal draft. And just the crazy things that you can end up doing with that are amazing.
Yeah.
And it just shakes things up.
So, and then in addition to that, there's been another event going on top of the primal draft. Yesterday they were having primal sealed, and it seemed like there were some regular packs included in there
Yes.
to start balancing it out a little bit, at least in the sealed. And this was a lot of fun. They were just okay. So actually, we'll backtrack a second. Yesterday they were trying to test these unlimited entry tournaments, and it actually fired successfully. I wasn't able to stick around for the entire time because I had to go out to dinner with some friends. But it went to round 2 at least, and I completed round 1. I actually had a really fun deck too. And
it actually fully completed.
Yeah,
on the
nice.
test server. All
That's
4
awesome.
rounds completed. Because I went to all 4 rounds on that one, and I did pretty good on that one. I went 3-1 in yesterday's test primal draft. And I might have been able to get that last round, except I ended my first 3 rounds really early. I was pretty much early every one of those rounds. And my wife started watching a movie, and it was an animated movie I hadn't seen yet. So I'm like walking back and forth from her office to my office.
Was it
back and forth?
It felt, Meowstuff saying it was 2 primals and 4 packs. It felt like it was more like 4 primals and 2 packs, but I could have been wrong. I didn't really pay too much attention.
It was 2 and 4
Okay.
because you could count essentially what you do is you go count your primals. So I believe it was 2-4. I didn't have enough rares for it to be like 3-3. And actually, the best way to do it is count your number of rares. So, because you should have 2 primals and 26 rares plus 4 more rares. So, but then those rares can be primals. I got lucky and wound up with like 6 primals.
Yeah, I had a pretty good deck, and I would say that so first off, they've kind of said a couple times, and in case people have missed it, they're not going to do Primal Draft as a live event unless it was like just some special one-off thing or Primal Sealed, because it's like, it sounds like fun, but really it would not be that much fun. Like a majority, when you're designing TCG sets and everything, commons and uncommons are the cards you're drafting the most of. They make up the draft format and they make it what it is. Like, if you're drafting all rares, your curve is going to be all screwy and all this other stuff. But, once in a while, it's something fun to do. And when they're testing stuff on the test server, because it's something you don't get to do often, it's a nice little incentive to get people to try it. And I will say, in this Primal Sealed thing, I wish I had learned it a little bit sooner, but mill is insane. Like, it's so easy to open. Yeah, like
it can be. It depends on what you got in your packs.
Yeah.
Because I got really close to being able to do mill. I just didn't have things like the Dimension Daisies or some of the other support cards to really make it work.
You only need 1 card in order to make mill insane in these Primal Sealed, and it's Azure Fate Sorceress. As soon as you have Azure Fate Sorceress, so somebody had Tower Hulk, which milled me for something like 48 cards off when it came into. Oh, actually no, because that one didn't. It was something else then. Yeah, because Tower Hulk just transforms, doesn't come into play. Maybe they bounced it or something. I can't remember. But there were some ridiculous things happening, like Oct getting inspired by Azure Fate, milling for 13 cards and continuing to mill every turn. Like, it was pretty combo.
Azure Fate is cray cray.
No, we
For
weren't.
lack of a better term, it is crazy.
We weren't doing trivia. They were just regular old giveaways. Like it says up there on the, or actually, where would it be? It would be over in this direction, somewhere on the screen. It has like
Here?
way up there on the other corner.
Yeah, I think here.
No, other
What?
direction.
It's that way? Okay.
Yes, it's that way. Yeah, it's almost like right next to Mokog when he points that direction. But it was, you know, you just do exclamation mark bug wrangling to celebrate me wrangling some bugs on the forums, and that's to enter into the giveaway. And we still have a whole bunch of stuff to give out, so hooray! You can't bounce Tower Hulk because it comes back as a 0/0. Well, if that's the case, that's a bug. Yeah, I don't know what it was that happened, but I got milled for a whole bunch of cards. Like,
report the bug.
this is what I say. Like, I was about ready to combo wombo onto my opponent, milling out a bunch of cards, and the turn before they did it to me. So there was it was fun though. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on there. Yeah. How about other folks? I want to, like, did anybody else here in chat have a chance to play any of the Primal Drafts or the Primal Sealed event? And if so, what were the highlights? Because, you know, it's something we're not going to be able to do all that often, but it was fun while we did it. Actually, and that would be a good chance to just throw the AI in there, since it's kind of a one-of-a-kind, goofy format anyways. It's not serious. There's no stakes. Yeah, why not set the AI loose and let it do some shenanigans?
I don't know. So we're supposed to be giving away another draft code, and we got someone. We got a bit of clamoring for trivia. Do we want to just like pull up? I can like start going through and doing like little bits of trivia here and there.
I think if we wanted to do some trivia kind of thing, that actually sounds like a lot of fun, but I think we should prepare that ahead of time. And if we do that in one of the coming weeks, we can announce it the previous week and have all kinds of trivia fun.
Oh yeah, but that's what Hexperty is about, right?
That is what Hexperty is about. I love Hexperty.
When was the last time the Hexperty was done?
Theo,
answer me. When was
it
the
was
last time
done
Hexperty
pretty
was done?
recently. I think it was like done at the beginning. It's done at the beginning of every month, so it wasn't that long ago. At least I don't think so. And
it's the 25th of. It's the 25th. It's at least been almost a month.
Yeah, so I think. I mean, but like I was saying, it's not that long ago, and I'm sure whoever goes on will just lose to Penta again.
No. We must study our cards, and now we've got Arena. Maybe Penta's not super arena'd out yet. That's a whole new category.
Yeah, that's pretty bonkers, Meowstiff. I should have done Azure Fate with the Ruby Gem so that I could have Tianost inspired by Azure Fate, because then that's a lot of fun. And Infamous Neo saying, you know, next Hexperty is next Monday. There you go.
So if you have a trivia fix, be sure that you watch the next Monday's HexTCG stream, and Neo is going to Hexperty this, because it's going to be on the official stream, correct, Neo?
Yeah, yeah, he does it on this channel on Mondays.
Or as Meowstuff says, the lose to Penta hype.
Yeah, the lose to Penta hype. Are you going to compete on Monday, Mokog? It sounds like an invitation.
But it's going to be, I have no problem contributing on Monday. I'm just not going to be as foolhardy as I was last time.
Well,
oh God, that was so embarrassing.
All I'll say is whether he thinks he is or not, I wouldn't call it competing.
Oh, really? So saying the person who already had a Warlord deck, and I whipped one together in 5 minutes and showed you.
Yeah. Oh, I love banter. Anyways, this is fun. What were we talking about? Yeah, we're going off track, but we'll get back on track here in just a second. There was somebody who was saying something in here. Oh, new bug posted. Thank you, PTG Mock. That's what we like to see. Yeah, it fell apart saying ouch. Yeah, I had to. I couldn't pass that one up. All right. Anyways, we were talking about giveaways though.
I think it might be a good idea to do our Crack the Pack giveaway and then move on to our...
You took the words out of my mouth. I think it is...
Bam!
It is time to do that Crack the Pack. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and roll the dice again. This time, we will be doing our Crack Pack here, and we'll see what we get. So, let's see what it is. Alright, Zazin wins the Crack Pack. Hopefully you are tuned in here. Mokog's writing that down. He's got like a underscore in there. Just one underscore after his name, and he wins the crackback. So we're gonna do the crackback right now. Let's see what we get.
All right.
We should be doing the crack-a-pack on the test server. That way I can save my packs.
No,
right.
Well, you can't do that. I mean, we could crack the pack.
Because then I couldn't give it away. Sure. Yeah, that's a good point.
Now that would be a troll thing to do right there. What are we doing? We're doing our Crack-a-Pack on the test server. Why? Because when I crack a primal, I can just send it to you that way.
Alrighty. So, and that's note. Let's see what we got here. Oh, Zazin's right there. So Zazin, you ready to see what you've won? What is it? It's something. It's Puck the Dreambringer. Congratulations. You have won the Puck the Dreambringer. And the Hoarder's asking, what's a Crack-a-Pack? Well, it's what we're doing right now. Yeah.
So the idea behind a Crack-a-Pack is you crack open a pack, you take a look, and you pick whatever you think might be the best draft card from that.
Yeah.
In addition to doing the Crack-a-Pack, we also take a look at top flavor pick and also maybe a first or second pick, and just kind of try to take a look at the Hex version of drafting for that. And do you know that you still have Zazin's name up in front of Puck the Dreambringer?
Oh, well, yeah, thank you, Feldspar, for pointing that out. Herp, I've been, multitasking.
And so,
I'm good at
that's
it.
the idea.
Hooray.
So now we're taking a look at a set 1. We've been looking at set 2, but it's good to look at another set 1. It's been a while since we looked at it.
All right, and Zazin's ahead of the curve. He even gave us his in-game name already. So as soon as we're done with this, remind me, and I'll send him on the Puck.
Is awesome.
And in good shape. So the rare in here is Puck the Dreambringer, 2 cost, double wild threshold troop that's an elf cleric. This guy's a lot of fun. Although I will say in PvE, he seems like he'd be really good, but you know what else is good? Is 1 cost Chlorophyllias. That's been like one of the highlights of my PvE experience the last couple days. So bonkers. Right? Yeah, like 1 cost Chlorophyllias get there hard. But so this is the rare. It's
talking about 1 cost, before we jump onto that, 1 cost Chlorophylia. So I'm doing kind of like my own little personal challenge now. I'm doing what I like to call naked arena, where you're running through with no equipment, just to kind of do that initial testing, because I don't want to get too attached to everything yet. But it's an interesting challenge, and all of a sudden, especially once they soup up that AI, oh goodness, I have no equipment, and my opponent has 6 equipment.
All right, so I just realized I messed up, and in that case, you know what I'll say is it's Zazin's lucky day. This is a set 1 pack.
Yeah, I thought that was intentional.
Oops.
Did we mean to do a set 2 pack?
Yeah, I meant to do a set 2 pack.
Double Crack-a-Pack!
And we could have done double Crack-a-Pack. I already closed it, but we'll go ahead and stash that. We'll open a set 2 pack. Zazin, it's your lucky day. You got two Crack-a-Packs out of it. All right, but so
I'd actually probably, from the set 1 pack, I would probably take the Puck and try to force wild, just for funsies.
I didn't even really look at what else was in the pack too closely, because we were still talking about stuff. There was some good stuff in there. There was a Terrabot and there was a Noble Citizenry. Back in set 1, obviously those are both really strong cards, and I probably would have gone with those. I didn't even see what the uncommons were.
A Noble Citizenry is still really fun to pull. And it messes with people when all of a sudden they're like, oh god, Noble Citizenry is still a thing. +2/+2, oh god.
Yeah, those Noble Citizenries will wreck you pretty hard. Actually, speaking of wrecking and draft and stuff, we'll do a quick segue, or a quick off-topic, is I think I haven't really played a whole lot of drafts this week, maybe just 2 or 3, but the most recent one I did, I ended up forcing mono blood, and I think I was the only person taking any blood cards in the draft, because that's how it wound up. I ended up playing Benoshi with the Lich, where he's got speed and lethal and life drain, giving him on Benoshi pretty good. And I had a bunch of Call of Graves, and I had a bunch of other stuff that synergized well with Benoshi, whether I was giving it to mosquitoes or whatever else. The deck was pretty good, but all along I was like, all right, we're in good shape. Pack 3 comes along, we're going to get a whole bunch of terrible transfers because we're the only person drafting blood. I'm convinced I was the only one doing it because I never ran into anybody else drafting blood, and I think I took something like 40 out of 45 blood cards for my picks.
Oh, wow.
I had a lot of blood cards.
Real solid blood.
But there were no terrible transfers in Pack 3, so, I was a little bit bummed about that. I did manage to win, though.
Yeah, because you forced mono blood. No one expects mono blood.
Yeah, I ran it up against an insane deck in Pack 3, or in Match 3. He had Argus and what's the dragon artifact dropship. He had those, and he had a bunch of other good cards, so it was a good deck.
I like how dropship is the dragon artifact.
Yeah. That's what I always thought.
Well, looking at our pack, so
we got Stone Tusk. That's Zazin's second rare. Congrats.
Yay, we made up for it, Zazin. For getting a Puck, you also got a Stone Tusk.
Yeah, congratulations on your Stone Tusk.
Hey,
everybody knows it's tier 1 rare, right?
Hey, you know what? At least you can theme that out with Shrine of Prosperity. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Which,
actually, that
which
was
I now just narrow this
yeah,
down.
that's your
Stone
flavor.
Tusk is the flavor pick because if you pull a Shrine of Prosperity, it's all done.
Yeah, you could just play like a bunch of cards that involve like gaining life or drawing cards, or that could be the flavor draft of the deck. All right, but we'll talk about our pick for the crack
Yeah.
pack, and this is an interesting one. And I will say, I'm pretty sure I know what I would take, but there's a
Um.
lot of good first picks here,
mm,
and I think just
There
different
are. This is
drafters
actually a fun.
would
This
go
is a fun
towards
pack.
what they feel is the strongest thing. Like I see Penta pick a card in here very oftenly first, and it's not a card that I pick very highly, but it is a good card. So,
Um. I'm torn. The rare I'm not super excited about just because there's a lot of ways to deal direct damage to the
mhm.
opponent to just remove this guy. Anything and that conditional removal when
He's
there's
bigger
a
than
lot
I
of
remember. I thought he was a 5'5". He's a 6'7".
yeah, oh yeah, he's big and swings to the face. It's the problem is that you can just get
Yeah.
around doing other forms of damage to him, especially with Boulder Crush.
Yeah.
Rar, just kill. You want to remove a 6/7 from play and do
hmm
damage to the opponent. Just Boulder Crush someone's face. But in any case, first pick wise, I'm actually kind of a fan of the Vanguard in this case.
hmm
But that is also because I'm favorable to Tri-Shard humans.
Yeah, I really like humans.
In draft, it's still really easy to do 2-shard or Tri-Shard
hmm
on the humans really consistently with the limited amount of fixing that you get. Like even if you don't happen to pull uh, the heralds, it's still pretty good to get in those 3 shards. Which tells me that I should have been playing 3 shards a lot more in set one because it
It
was
was.
a lot
I love
easier
playing
to
three
do.
shards in set one.
I'll be honest. In set one, I was afraid of 3 shards because
Yep.
I thought I was super terrible at managing my shards. Set two has opened my eyes that 3 shards is easier than I thought it was, because I rarely run the dual shards while drafting.
All
But
right.
it makes me think that the Vanguard is. I love the Swift Strike. I love how quickly he can come into play. I love the synergy he does with the other humans.
So,
But there's
oh,
your other good cards in there too.
hmm So on Vanguard, Vanguard's probably my pick just because I really like drafting humans, and I've had a lot of success doing so. I think it's pretty easy to draft humans. It's like it's a wide enough archetype that you can do it pretty easily. You don't even have to like just because you're drafting humans doesn't mean you have to be 3 colors, and also doesn't even mean you necessarily have to be. I don't know. You can go like Diamond Blood a lot of the time. Granted, if you're playing Legion or Vanguard of Gawain, you want to be playing Ruby because he has the ability. But like, there's a lot of different ways you could go. I've ended up doing like Sapphire, Diamond humans, and then using Bertram as my champion to get some other shenanigans out of it, or doing you know Ruby Diamond humans and then using Farney as my champion. And at
Yeah.
that point, I'm not. I said humans, but I shouldn't be saying humans specifically because I'm not really going after that synergy. I'm just doing Ruby and Diamond. It happens to have a lot of humans and artifact troops, and then use Farney to do all kinds of damage. In this case, a lot of chat is kind of agreeing with what I was about to say. Is I feel like there's 3 picks in this pack. I would say the 3 picks are Vanguard of Gawain, Construction Foreman, and the Construction Plans Crank Rocket. Those are my like 3 highest ones. On top of that, close behind are Reactor Bot, Arena Regular, Ballistics Training, and Keeper of the Wounded Petal. There's a lot of good cards in here. I feel like those other
Yeah.
4 are a little bit behind. And actually, I should go back to Stone Tusk. Sure, he's easy to kill, but you shouldn't. The way you should treat him is he's a big body that's easy to remove. So is Fire Soul Wizard. Fire Soul Wizard's not bad. You'll probably end up playing the Stone Tusk in your deck. He's still totally fine. He's got the Steadfast, so he's able to attack. And if they swing in with everything to make sure he dies, he's at least going to kill one of their guys and trade in that sense. So he's not bad. Him costing 5, I think, is a little bit of a mark against him. If he was 4 and a 5/5, like I think he used to be, that was probably a better. Like it would have felt better for him. He's still really solid though. He can be nasty, and maybe you play him
I mean,
plus the champion that gets you troops back when they die. So
yeah, I mean, the Stone Tusk can definitely have some uses. It's just I mean, I just think about Swift Strike. If you let a Swift Strike through on this guy, whatever he was blocking, well, he has to block the Swift Strike.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he doesn't, then he's going to get removed if a Swift Strike gets through on the
Yeah.
opponent.
Um,
And I think the reason that people don't like playing him is one, I think he can be used well when planned for well,
mm-hmm.
and I'm a lazy drafter. I like it when it gets spelled out for me.
Yeah, he's good if you can clog up the board.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
In that case, he's pretty
Or
solid.
if you can keep him as the sole troop on the board.
Well,
Like
and
if he's your board presence and you are annihilating the rest.
oh,
of
and
your
you're
opponent's
annihilating the
board
rest.
presence.
Sure, I'm with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
so
let's be honest, a steadfast swinging for 6 every turn, and let's say you're blood diamond and you pulled all the blood removal, and you
Mhm.
got this guy as your tank, then yeah, you can swing away that way.
I think the other problem for me here too is that with him costing 5, he competes with Bastion, and I really really like Bastion. Bastion is one of my favorite cards right now in draft. Like it just performs really well, and I kind of think I'd rather have a Bastion than the Stone Tusk. Like the Bastion, it makes a really big impact the turn you play it, and you can do
Yep.
a lot of unexpected things. But going back to the top picks, Construct Foreman and Rocket are both pretty strong. I see. I think it was Penta. He takes Construct Foreman pretty highly. I think I played against him a couple times when he had it, and it's really good.
Oh, yeah.
If you end up building the deck that utilizes him and like Electroids or something like that, you can put in a lot of work. Dwarven Ballistics Training, also really strong if you can get like a lethal troop and then just kill a troop every turn, or some nonsense like that. So there's a lot of good stuff
And even
in
then,
here.
the one of the things I like with ballistics training is even if you can't put it on lethal, putting it on a troop that's just designed to block,
Mhm.
being able to get in and take out the 1 and 2 troops
Yeah.
really easily. It adds up value a lot quicker than you
Yeah,
think.
if you put it on like a 1/4, then it can it's really closer to being a 2/4 kind of thing where it
Yep.
can block and exhaust. Sure. So it's a cool pack. And you were saying for flavor draft, you think you go with the Stone Tusk?
Yeah, I'd have to go with the Stone Tusk.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun going like building a prosperity deck
And if anything, just to prove he's draft viable.
because we've already done ballistics training in a flavor draft. That
Yep.
was a lot of fun. And we've done some other stuff. We talked about Grand Squirrel Titan because I mean, come on.
That we have to do a Tea Party draft
Yeah,
one day.
Tea Party Draft is pretty sweet, but and even Snare Trapper, I think there's some potential there, but I'm not creative enough right now to come up with a Snare Trapper one.
So if you were going to go with the Snare Trapper, what you have to do is you have to go with Coyote and the pets. Especially, you have to.
Oh, I like that.
You
Sure.
have to draft the. You have to draft the Sly Huntress.
Sly Huntress, yeah.
So if it's
Works
got
out pretty well.
a hunter or ranger in its abilities, you have to grab that for a Snare Trapper flavor draft. So I think that's kind of where you have to go for that one.
Alrighty, so Zazin posted his in-game name up there higher. Let me
Yep.
go up and check what it was again.
He's Popsicle.
Popsicle. Okay, so I will send that mail on over right now.
So remember,
And save myself
Zazin is
something.
getting the puck as well as the Stone Tusk.
Yeah, that worked out pretty well for him. Crack
Double the packs, double the fun.
packs with an S. All right, so we're it was just lucky day on a mistake on my part, but one that I'm not adverse to making. That's not even the right word. I'm just making words up at this point. And
Making up
what do we?
words, having fun.
Puck and Stone Tusk. So congratulations.
Ooh.
Okay, so there we go. I'll send those on
So
over.
about, I would say about 30 minutes to almost an hour ago, they brought the test server back up. They brought it down for a patch and brought it back up. So to help with our bug wrangling, go ahead and jump onto the test server at some point today. Go play a little bit of Arena. Be sure you take screenshots and log all those bugs so that Function has even less time to stream.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. All right, and on that note, I'm going to go ahead and just post that link one more time. So that was a bug wrangling article that well, not article, but post that Ossuary made, my partner in crime in this, and check that out. He does a good explanation of it on there of what we're aiming to do. We're going to be kind of tagging and modding threads in the bug report forums, both the live one and the test server, and should be it'll be a lot of work, and we're just volunteering to do it. But we're happy to do it because before the test, the bug report forms were a peeve of mine, where there were a lot of duplicate threads in there, and they could have all been combined and made it easier for everybody to read and have all the information in one place. So this is going to be nice to have that all done. And
all right.
Yeah.
So I think we are running a little long.
Yes, we
still
are.
have 4 giveawees, don't we?
It's time to fire off the lightning round.
All right, lightning round. Do we want to do the draft, the primal, or the 2 mosses?
So we're saying the draft, the primal, and 2 mosses is what we still have, right?
Yep, that's what I should still got.
Well, why don't we fire off the primal next? So this is going to be infamous Neo's primal that he donated right at the start of the stream. He started off strong with throwing a primal our way, so we're going to be giving one away. And thank you to Neo. Here we go. So this is the winner of a set 1 primal pack, and it's going to Bomb 68. So hopefully you're listening in on the channel still. I know we've been going here a little while, so if somebody tuned in at the beginning and isn't still here, you can't really hold it against them. It's been a long stream today. But if you are still in here, send me or send us what you send us your in-game name in chat. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say, and I will send you the pack. Otherwise, I'll just send you a message on Twitch, and we can get it later. But doing so now is always easy. And also, as Mokog was pointing out, be sure to visit Neo's stream. He's an awesome streamer, he's an awesome guy, and you guys should go watch him play games, because it's fun. And
if you're in the States, he is your morning coffee. If you are not in the States, then watch him whenever he's available.
Okay, and Bomb is making things easy, so we're going to go ahead and mail that over, and we're going to fire off another giveaway.
I love that in-game name, Oki.
Yep. So this is
when I first look at it, I'm like, it's almost like okay, but it's Oki.
Neo with a 0. That guy. Okay. So this is the primal from Neo over there, and send it right on over.
Neo's primal.
All right, so that goes to Oki. You are, I would just say congrats and thank you for tuning in. So on to the next one. We still have 3 giveaways today.
Yes. I say let Moss.
Yeah, we'll do a Moss.
All
right, so we'll fire that right off, and I think I still have the window up, which I do. So here is Moss number 3, and this goes to Greedy Jawa, who's been here
Greedy.
for almost the majority of the stream, and or at least I think so. It's hard to keep track of everybody, but Greedy Jawa, and it's not greedy to win the giveaway. You don't need to feel bad. You don't need to be a sad Jawa. I don't know if Jawas get sad. They don't even have mouths or anything to express that kind of facial emotion. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's a Master Moss. And I know you're in here because you were just chatting. So Greedy Jawa, why don't you tell us what your in-game name is so I can send on over the Master Moss. Congratulations on that. We still have 2 giveaways to do, which is a draft code and another, our 4th Master Moss. We're giving a whole bunch of stuff away today. That's been a good stream.
We're giving away so much stuff, I'm getting antsy. I love giving away things.
As I'm sending this over to Greedy Jawa, you want to start doing some rather shameless plugs there?
Shameless plugs. All right, so we've done something really cool recently, and I'm still working on those as well as what I'm going to be working on this evening. Very shortly, we're going to be getting the archived General's Tents up and going. With Twitch, I had to get some things kind of put together so that I can get those streamless, and we're going to be getting those back on YouTube very soon. When that's uploaded and ready, the next General's Tent, we will blast it out so that for those who are not able to watch it live on Twitch and who may not be able to access it through all of the different services out there, you'll be able to get them on YouTube again, which we used to be really good at, and then we started failing terribly at. But until then, you can get a hold of Function and myself on Twitch as well as YouTube. We both have our channel set up with some additional links, but we also have our own little personal links that I have saved in this little thing labeled under Shameless Plugs. But in addition to our normal Shameless Plugs, be sure that you continually visit the main site, the HexTCG.com. It's very crucial to keep up with that if you want to keep with the standard news, as well as make sure that you follow them on Twitter as well as on Facebook. So, for instance, when they started announcing the primal drafts, guess where it started? It broke on Twitter. So if you wanted to actually get on the primal sealed, you had to know about it through Twitter first, and then it spread like by word of mouth out that way, which was very clever, Fenteo, to check and see how deep your Twitter penetration is into the community, to see how well it tested out. I'm on to you, sir.
Well, they were also saying on the test server itself.
Oh, well, yeah, he advertised on the test server that, that's...
but if they weren't online,
yeah.
I'm with you.
It was very clever. 2 thumbs up. Good call on that.
I like it.
But then also be sure with their Facebook, you can find a lot of the Hex staff on Twitter, so that you can follow people like Corey, who does crazy things periodically. Which Corey is awesome on, like, watching him about the Oscars. He cracks me up, because if you follow him on Twitter, he was tweeting about the Oscars. It was great.
I didn't watch the Oscars. We don't have cable or anything. And
I didn't. You don't have to watch the Oscars. Just watch.
I probably would have.
Corey's Twitter posts.
I probably wouldn't have mind reading them. Maybe I'll go back and do so. But yeah, my family. My dad was like a movie critic for a long time, and he always hated the Oscars, like, with a passion. He had impolite things to say about all the publicists and just kind of brown nosing that went on at the Oscars. That it was not an enjoyable thing to go to every year, but he did it anyways.
Now, one of the other things that I'm going to, hopefully this copy and paste will do well, I think it might be a good idea to just share off some of the streamers who are not presently here, and hopefully this copy and paste will not fail as terribly as I think it's failing. Okay, there we go. This is going to be a list of them, and hopefully it works well.
Let's see. Nope, that did not work.
Well, it didn't link out, which I wasn't thinking. So these are just a small list of some of our streamers. Infamous Neo, Mythic, Fishmom, Pentachills, Alucard, Cirrus, Hacky, Hex Havoc, and there are more. In fact, we also had a new streamer start up today at the top of our at the top of chat, which was awesome.
Canada. Yeah, actually, I had some insane games against Canada in the Hex Primal Cup. Like, those were some nail biters. Those are the closest games of the entire cup. I think they were in the very middle round that we played, and it was single elimination. And oh boy, those were some close games. Those were really fun though. They were good. Yeah, those were some of the best Hex games I've played in a while.
But we've got great streamers out there, and I don't have a full list of streamers. I need a full list of streamers. I know there's
out there having awesome stuff going on.
Oh god, I just remembered there's a so if you want to get connected with the Hex community, and we'll just do this as a shout out to all of our Hex community. There are a couple forums where you can, or there's a couple posts. I think it's in the general forum.
Yes.
Where it's our complete list of Hex related links that I am going to copy and share here.
Which I would think at this point you and I are probably deleted from that list, because when is the last time either of us posted anything? Slackers.
I posted a rap fairly recently, and I posted another thing last month.
Right. Thank you.
And I'll be posting another thing at the end of this month.
That's 3 more things than I think I've posted at all this year. What a slacker.
We work on the general's tent.
Yeah.
That is presently our shtick.
Well, and bug wrangling now. That's
bug wrangling is your shtick. General's tent and stalking people. I stalk streamers. Yeah. I'm sorry, everyone.
Yeah, I'm the same way, Gensling. I just do when I have time, which lately has been never. But moving on, what else were we going to say? Talking about more community stuff and plugging folks out there who are awesome. Check out 5shards.com. I just posted my article on the website right there. We have a bunch of community members, a lot of names you'll recognize, posting, weekly articles multiple times a week of just interesting stuff to read about, and from all different aspects, whether it's I think Zubrin did one about creating a team, and that one was fun. All kinds of stuff across the board, many different topics. I did one last night up there. It's about a budget deck that I figured I'd post out there for people. Not only is it pretty viable for PvP, for competitive events, maybe not tier 1, but it's still something you can build for under $10, which and it'll get you a decent way, which is pretty good, I'd say. And it's a pretty good deck in PvE as well, so if you end up spending your money, it won't be wasted, because you'll be able to have a nice deck for arena as well, and it's a lot of fun to play.
Draft.
You were saying that?
Draft.
Oh, the draft code? Is that what you're saying?
Draft. draft. Let's give away a draft.
I thought you were saying, like, let's play a draft. This stream hasn't been long enough as it is. We'll make a 5-hour stream.
Hours.
Yeah.
No,
all right. So
we're going to give away a draft code. Because I know we've got people waiting for the last draft code. Because I've seen a couple messages in chat where they're like,
sure.
Yeah, I really want to win a draft code. Well, you're entered. Let's see if you win.
Congratulations to Bertilsborg. Congratulations for winning the draft code. Mokog's writing down your name, and we will send you a message after the stream with the draft code, which you have won. Which congratulations on that. Hopefully you do well, and Kismet treats you well in the draft.
Yeah, Bertilsborg. That's how I'm going with. All right, got to make sure I actually now write that down.
So we will get that taken care of afterwards. If you are currently listening, though, if you want to speed things up and help me out, send me a message on Twitch, and that way I can just reply with the draft code after the stream. It'll probably take me 10-15 minutes to do so.
And that's if you want it, because if you send them a message on Twitch and you're not on the list of people winning, we're going to look at it and be like, oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna just be.
Unless you've got fan mail. If you've got fan mail, send it to Function. Or me, but you can send it to Function. He could use some fan mail today.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And like Feldspar, Moss.
Okay, Moss is coming up. Before we do, though, I want to say one or two more things. And that's you got the HexTCG Open coming up this week. You know, and it has a 500 plat or $5 equivalent entry fee. And you send it. The instructions are on there. The website for the Open, the Brigadon update, is right here. I'll post that in chat in case you missed it earlier. That's the HexTCG page for the tournament, which is going to be taking place this weekend. It's not too late to sign up, and it has an entry fee, but it's also paying out in platinum. In this case, this is kind of subsidizing them paying the prices out of their own pocket. It's their solution to doing tournaments. And what I would say is, in this case, there's not a whole lot of entrants currently in the tournament. So if you're kind of like, well, I don't want to enter when you have to pay, unlike the other events which are free, in this case, it's actually pretty good because there's a lot fewer people you're competing against. And I think something like the top 16 at least wins their entry fee back. And in that case, you know, when there's only something like 18 people signed up, or however many are currently on there, you're in high chance of getting there. And thank you, Feldspar, for helping us out there.
Yeah, and I guess so. Are we ready to give away the moss?
Yeah, we're going to give away the moss. But yeah, Bertelsport, what you're saying is your in-game name is Supreme Evil. That doesn't help me because I'm going to send you the message on Twitch. It's just easier for me to copy and paste it on there. So check your Twitch message box in, I don't know, half an hour or so, and the message and the draft code will be on there. Anyways.
Now that being said, if you are not following Function or myself and we send you a message, the way the Twitch inbox works gets a little weird. It'll put it into one of your other folders where it kind of like I think it's actually like the other folder. And it's not going to show up in your standard mail on Twitch. So if you're following, it shows up in your standard mail. If you're not following, it is kind of hidden. So be sure that if you sent it out if we sent it but you don't think we've gotten it, send us a message, because it also works both ways. If you're not following us, you also get filed differently when things are done too. So I went ahead, following helps, and
fired off the final Master Moss giveaway here. And it goes to Armies, who just happened to win last week. He's been on a streak. So congrats, Armies, on the Master Moss. Send me what your in-game name is, and I'll send it on over your way. Congratulations on that. But yeah, this has been a fun stream today. I have to say thanks to Neo and Nero, both for contributing to the giveaways. It's always a pleasure to have a little bit of help out there. And yeah, thanks, guys. Also, thanks to everybody who tuned in, and thanks to everybody who is currently listening and submitting bug reports diligently. I appreciate it, and it is very helpful to have everybody participate in that. When you do report bugs, though, try to use the template. It makes things easy to read and all that good stuff. But in other cases, yeah, keep on trucking.
All right, so just So kind of like an end of wrap-up. So this kind of stuff that we talked about today, aside from our massive tangent dragons that we've covered today.
Yeah, we went off on a lot of tangents, but hopefully it was a good stream. Hopefully everybody was entertained and enjoyed the show tonight.
Yeah, so we talked about the AI post that went on. We talked about the Brigadon tournament that's going to be this weekend. Bug wrangling. The arena test server is back open. Our card of the week was the Winged Terror. We also talked about our favorite encounters as well as the Primal Limited formats that they've been testing as well, which are awesome. And if you can get into a Primal draft, go play a Primal draft. It is a unique experience. Then we gave out some fun shout outs to some of our Twitch streamers, even though my link ability was super terrible there because I didn't copy everything over. But you should still go look up their names because they are still awesome streamers. And then we gave away, all right, so you know what we started off wanting to give away, right? So we started off wanting to give away 2 draft codes, our Crack-a-Pack, and then Neo's Primal. In the process of this, you got a little crazy and decided to give away a second Primal. And then Nero Generous, because he is working for that Exalted title, I know he's working for it, you are nominated, sir, gave us 4 Master Mosses.
Yeah, so actually we had 9 giveaways today.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That was a giveaway like every 15 minutes.
I almost feel like a radio show at this point. Just giving away things left and right.
Everything must go. But
everything must go.
Pretty.
Down here at the... oh, damn nabbit, I don't have anything for that one yet. I'm going to have to come up with something for that one.
All right. Well, but that about wraps everything up. I would say to anybody who just happened to stroll across the stream and just find it out of the blue, this is HexTCG that we are playing and talking about today. If you are new to it, you can go over to HexTCG.com and register for the open beta that they're currently in. Anybody can play. You don't need a beta code or anything like that, and it's a whole lot of fun. I will say it's currently still in a phase where the PvE elements are not open to the public. They are on the test server, but brand new accounts won't have access to them. So there's not a whole lot of free-to-play content, but that is right on the horizon. Literally any week now, that's going to be making it to public, I would imagine, and there's going to be free-to-play content for everybody. There is some currently implemented in the game, but not a whole lot. You will have to probably end up buying a couple packs if you want to continue playing or try playing in a draft, something like that.
Yeah.
And
free to pay or free to play, pay to compete.
Yes, that's a good point.
So remember, you get a free starter. It is like the equivalent of a $10 starter in any other TCG.
Yeah, and you get it for free.
You get it. That's absolutely free. It comes with rares. Some of them have some fantastic rares. Some of them have some mid-tier level rares. Some of them have some super flavor rares.
Yeah, they're fun.
And then you complete some games. You get some gold. You can use the gold to buy packs. There is a free element here. It's not as cool as I would say PvE is.
Yeah, PvE is pretty rad.
I would say the arena wrecks the starter experience, just like in thematics and quality and how well it's done. But once we get the two merged together, it is going to form the duo of starting F2P, and it'll be awesome.
I'll say this. So we were talking about free to play and budget stuff today. I think we need to restart the budget challenge one of these days soon. And
well, once it's in, I think we should take a look and go with a budget arena.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
That is exactly, it's a good idea, and I think it's something that's very easy to continue.
Yeah.
The idea of getting the starter deck list together and going with the starter deck, how far can I get in arena and what can I do with it, and just run a series on it.
Yeah, I think that sounds great, and it's definitely something we should do. And it'll be a lot of fun, and I think a lot of people would enjoy watching it, because people enjoyed watching the previous budget challenges, and they were fun to do.
I know, we'll call it Let's Play Hex.
Yeah, there we go. Or, I liked our budget challenge. Everybody liked the budget challenge.
Yeah, the budget challenge is a great name. I was just doing a play on Let's Play.
No, I know. But yeah, I think that's probably about it for tonight. We did all of our stuff. If you're not already following myself and Mokog on Twitter, I highly encourage you to do so. I'm at Funktionfails, and Mokog is at HexHunter Mokog. But with all that said, I think we've plugged everything else. We've had a nice time tonight. Thank you for everybody who joined tonight. Tonight was a successful show. We had a whole bunch of people in here, and everybody was chiming in with chat. It was a fun, interactive experience for all of us. I enjoy when everybody's chatting with us, so thank you for that. Yes. But are you ready to say goodbye, Mokog?
I am. I think I've got something good.
Okay.
I think I've got something good.
Well, in that case, why don't we hear there's something good? I'm sure it's your same boring, just ordinary outro that you say every time, your tagline, your slogan that everybody knows really well. And, but let's hear it one more time.
I have no tagline, but what I can say is, everyone, thanks for watching, because coming from the bowels of the necropolis, strategizing with Lixil and keeping Zared Venom scoring away from the punch bowl, Function and Mokog have proudly brought to you this evening's General Stint. Good evening and good night.
That was good. All right, until next time. Next Wednesday, as always, Wednesday afternoons at 4:30 Pacific time, the General's Tent. You can tune in here, watch myself and Mokog stream, and talk about all kinds of fun stuff, including mostly Hex stuff usually. But yeah, until next week, we'll see you. Less fail, more function. Night, guys.
Thanks for watching. Be sure you click that like and subscribe button to help support the channel. Also, leave a comment below. Your thoughts and suggestions are always welcome. If you'd like to check out some of additional content, we have a couple links to videos below, as well as a link to our Twitch channel where we'll do a giveaway every time we do a stream for Hex. We can give away everything from cards to packs to gold. All sorts of things can be done on the Twitch channel. Also, I really like to thank you for making it to the end of the video. Not everyone watches to the end. It really matters for how the channel operates, and every second that you're here watching provides support. Thank you for giving me your time and energies. And as always, I'm Mokog, and this is HexHunter.